Almost. So you're telling me we need to write the lyrics and we need to sing a nice little acapella.
We need to make a TikTok, guys. Oh my God. I could be in one instead of just watching them. What the fuck?
You're a content creator now, Josh.
That's the next step.
See?
This is what we have come to.
Multi-platforming.
I was going to go to college.
So I've already started editing down for TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit of money.
Yeah.
And I'm a tour guide. So
I deliver pizza.
Technically, I did go to college.
We're a successful.
Immediately ran out of money.
I help old people.
RCC's like, yeah, you can pay for about a year and a half.
Thanks,
Went to SOU, and I made it one term. They're like, oh, also, we need $3 more grand because we signed you up for our fake health insurance and didn't tell you.
This is not enough grand.
Gotcha. I'll just let ODR pay it for 20 years.
I don't know how you're supposed to rhyme
hooray,
and
yogurt
with something.
Purple.
Poop.
Poop does not rhyme with hurtful.
And you don't want hurtful poops.
Eminem told me that.
Eminem could make it rhyme.
You good?
He'd just poop out his mouth.
Don't you say that about Eminem. How fucking dare you?
If anybody has a skill.
Fucking Eminem's going to write a fucking rap about you and just going to...
I am not on his radar that much.
You could be if you tried harder.
Yeah.
I would be so appreciative.
Your Twitter presence could blow up.
Yeah. Who's this schmuck he fucking made fun of?
I can suck you, I can go down, and I can lick your balls like a hound.
like a
Ew.
hound with the J works in Spanish. El hound.
El hound.
Look at...
What?
What?
What is a jound? Oh, it was supposed to be. Okay.
Russ is the
jound. These look fake.
What does?
They look like...
Whoa.
Oh, I'm just holding white, the product. Can I?
Now available for $49.99.
It's canceled.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
The product white was canceled.
Keep it going.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no. It's everywhere.
Now, Andy, if you'd only had a second one, we could have just...
It's a trombone.
A flesh trombone.
Andy's ending it all. Like he's just gonna pound down his 409 teeny.
No. We don't joke about that. We don't joke about that.
409 Y. I'm Googling that.
New World was a fair bit of fun, but I think we're saving that mostly for the podcast material. So
probably a big chunk of what we'll talk about is
So stay tuned. Stay tuned.
We haven't slept. We've been just 48 hours straight playing New World.
That's
Almost.
a lie. Some of us.
Yeah, we're old.
Yeah,
we don't do that.
I went to bed at 4:30 and woke up at 9.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm going to play some more New World.
I thought I was waking up early today, and then the clock shattered that reality when it told me it was almost noon.
Yeah.
I was up at 7.
Gross. Put it back.
I was up at 4.
You weren't playing.
Nope.
Nope. Well, you should, but that's okay.
People skinning your kills has been a problem in MMOs since time immemorial.
Yeah.
Or the inverse in WoW, where people don't loot their kills so you can't skin them.
Yeah.
That seems...
It definitely was not a problem. Like, half the people weren't skinning them anyways, and then in which case, like...
I was like, oh, hey, look, there's just a wolf.
It's the one gathering skill that, like, other people could by proxy fuck you over. It's like, just click the loot. Just click it. That's all you need to do. You don't need to pick it up.
Yeah.
You just click the body and trigger it.
Click better.
Yeah.
Click faster. Click stronger. Brought to you by White.
Did I do coke or something?
Yep.
Nose is runny. It's about 409.
Got to get that pizza schmutz off the table.
Mm-hmm.
I discovered that we make like a garlic cheese bread at work, and it has this like buttery garlic cheesy spread that goes down instead, obviously like a marinara sauce on the pizza dough. And I just start making pizzas with that instead of the red sauce, so that I can then dip my pizza in marinara.
Gotcha. It's kind of like an aioli thing.
I don't think there's any mayo in it. And that's
that's true.
For an aioli.
Oil and mayo.
I mean, I think it's probably just like butter.
Butter, oil, garlic, yeah.
And that's why it is so greasy, because those things are very greasy.
Sounds delicious.
It's fucking stupid good. And I'm probably going to just keep gaining weight because I work there and they give me free food every time I work. And I'm like,
okay.
I guess.
The real downside is I've actually found out that their wings, boneless, because I don't eat fucking
boneless wings.
Dinosaur bones.
Can I get a boneless pizza?
Boneless
I prefer
pizza.
my pizzas boneless.
Is that a calzone?
No, it's just pizza, dude.
Okay.
If you have bones in your pizza, that someone's doing.
Calzone is a pizza with an exoskeleton.
It's a turtle pizza.
Turtle pizza.
I like turtle pizza.
I don't eat turtles. They have
The only calzone I think was
herpes.
like worth buying was the
Pizzone.
pizzone from Pizza Hut, and then they when they brought it back, it was fucking garbage. So like everything from Pizza Hut.
I almost got that mutant looking fucking calzone from Little Caesars.
I
the
got
other
that.
day,
You just
but
got that the other
Yeah, I
day.
got that.
fuck's a calzone.
It's stupid.
It's a Frankenstein.
It looks like somebody just
monsters
squished a
of
pizza on four sides.
Yeah.
Like, oops, we dropped it and kicked it across the floor.
There you go.
So all it is just an oil collector. That's all it does. Is it just pools the pizza grease so it can't escape.
Yeah.
I mean, you can like
I'm
pour
just
it out.
getting images of
Because
calzone.
You
put in
can
calzone,
actually
you gotta
just
put in
pour it out.
calzone.
I did. It autocorrected without
Put it in
telling
Little
me.
Caesars.
Oh, okay. Or Little Caesars too. That would probably help.
Yeah. Anytime you're skinning or any of your skills get high enough, when you're near resources, they'll pop up on your
Spelled
compass.
with a Y? What the fuck?
There it is.
Dude, this is a sin against God.
I'm actually a little curious to know how that, like, if I couldn't find a way to toggle them on and off, because I have a few skills now that are starting to track stuff on the compass, and it seems like that's just going to get very crowded on the compass bar
yeah.
if it just starts tagging everything, and then like the range in which it will pick them up to put them on your compass gets bigger as your skill goes higher, or like further and further out. So like there has to be a way to toggle those.
The compass is already full enough.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
agreed.
that depends on how many quests you have running.
I had like
Yeah.
5 open last night, and it's like, it was. But yeah, no, it's fun. Okay, yeah.
I was very pleased when iron is now on my compass, because it's hard to find that. And I needs it. Oh, man, I got a tier 5 fish. It's an epic. It's purple. I don't even know. Like, it was in a bubble above a fucking branch in the water. Like, I thought it was just a plant.
was meditating.
I was like, oh, there's a shiny plant over there. I'm going to go see if I can harvest it. Because, like, 9 times out of 10, I can't because I don't have high enough harvesting skills. And I opened it, and there was a fucking fish. It's like, it's a spiny purple fish. And it's literally a tier 5, like, epic drop. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that sounds like I might make some money.
Josh, little less gusto on putting the drink down.
Once people figure out how much stuff is actually worth in this game. 'cause
Bias or
the trade house is a fucking shit show.
I'm sure. There's like no money
it-
sink in the game, right?
What's a money
Not
sink?
really.
Repair costs, taxes for buying stuff, anything
Yes,
to get gold out of the economy.
Yes, it costs money to repair your gear. And
You have to repair your gear.
yes.
There's also a tax on player housing.
There's a tax on everything. There's a tax on crafting. There's a tax on
That's
trades.
true,
There's
yeah.
a tax on housing.
Just
there's
like the
another one.
real world. And here they said it was going to be new.
They didn't say it was going to be different.
I have also eaten that cookie dough brownie from Little Caesars, and it was delicious and does not taste remotely like it's made out of real ingredients.
Yeah, not at all.
It's like they thought of the idea of a cookie dough brownie, and it manifested into reality made out of
Mama spaghetti.
fucking particle dust and sugar.
Oil. Yeah.
Oil and sugar.
reminds me, I was remaking Alton Brown's pancake recipe, and every time I make it, I forget why. I remember watching the episode, but you use an egg, and you put the yolk into melted butter, and the whites into the buttermilk, and you mix those together, and then you mix those together into one big liquid thing. And I don't question it. I just do it because it's Alton Brown. But I always forget why do you're going to all mix it together? Why does it need to be separate?
He always says separate the wets and the dries.
No, it's separating two wets.
Oh.
Melted butter and the yolk, and then the buttermilk and the whites. You mix those thoroughly, and then you combine those two, and then you combine that remaining bowl of liquid into the dry.
I don't understand how most baking fucking sorcery happens.
Baking
so.
is, it's a
alchemy.
science.
Like, even if it's simple as like you take egg yolks and you whip them enough and it becomes this like foamy meringue. I'm like, I don't understand what magic happens.
Mm-hmm.
Stiff peaks. Gotta get them stiff peaks.
Have you been watching the newest British Bake Off?
I saw it came out, and I am looking forward to binging it eventually. I haven't done it yet, though.
That's what I was going to watch, and then I
this the
started watching
pandemic
Squid
one?
Game.
Where they had to quarantine and stuff while they're doing the show?
Yeah.
Or is it the one after?
I'm not sure. I haven't watched any of it.
That.
Okay, because I started watching the one where they were all quarantined.
Mm-hmm. It was fun.
I do enjoy some great British Bake Off.
Yeah.
Goddamn right.
I also love Noel Fielding for the most part. So
yeah, he's fucking hilarious. Also, the chunky fellow with the alopecia, he's also pretty great.
I don't particularly like that guy. I don't know why. He's off-putting.
It's the alopecia.
I mean,
No, I don't know. No, he's. I don't know.
you know that episode where Frank shaves off all of his body hair and covers himself in hand sanitizer?
Yes,
that's the vibe I get.
I have to be
from that.
clean.
Binge originally meant to soak a wooden vessel in water that would otherwise leak in an attempt to make the wood swell and plug the leak.
You okay?
To binge a boat.
Sounds like what I do when I jerk it.
Soak your wood so there's no leaks.
Yeah. Make it bulge. No leaks.
What do you mean by relationship between companies? I don't understand the question.
Like, are they friends or are they like?
Is it serious? Are they poly? Are they open to dating other people?
They like each other.
Okay. They're holding hands?
Can you share resources?
No. So companies have their own like bank essentially that they contribute into. What we've kind of picked up, I think, so far is that there in our server there's one dominant company for the syndicate, which is what the faction we joined, and they're the ones that claim the first territory. And it seems like there's probably one or two that are kind of on the rise. So most likely we'll have to disband our company and join with somebody that's larger if we want to make any sort of significant inroads in like the world PvP aspect. Now, when one company declares war on another territory, I'm pretty certain that they can recruit from any companies. I'm not positive yet. I haven't taken a look at the war board once a war has been declared to kind of see what was going on there. Because like, they're not going to bring people in that are low level anyways. And we're like, I'm the highest at 18 right now. And I imagine most people going to war like 20, 25 range.
And war never changes.
War has changed.
I just said war never changes. God,
And then I
damn
quoted
it.
the war has changed.
But we haven't dove too deep yet and even really looking to see like what the companies have available to them to do. So I could be wrong about stuff. We're just stoked that we like
Start a nonprofit.
started a company and
snagged a cool name.
got a cool name.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that wasn't taken.
I mean, I'm just
First
pissed
day,
the council
homie.
was taken. I
Yeah.
would just like to have been called the council, but fine.
I just popped the wrong ear.
We're called the Council of Shadows. In hindsight, I also probably would have preferred
Couldn't
Shadow Council.
afford
but-
any lighting.
See, we know that we're not going to be playing enough that we can start like, because if you want to get big, you got to do the whole like you have an active Discord and you got people that are constantly trying to recruit, and at the end of the day, we'd probably just defer that to some other larger company if we join.
We mercenaries, son.
Yeah, right now we're essentially that's what we're going to be doing.
Yep.
I mean, it would kind of be cool to like if we were competent enough in our company that the larger companies knew who we were, and of course would look to have us sign on with their wars and stuff like that, and we could keep our independent company going.
That'd be pretty dope.
But as far as us owning any sort of territories, like I know that buying the fort was 100,000 gold. I don't know what it took to claim a settlement. Did you look at all?
Having our own fort would be
Either of you?
sick.
No.
Okay.
No. I'm just a little fucking scrub guy, dude. I got a fancy hat and a new gun that I didn't even get to shoot. So,
Yeah, I just felt the need to catch up level wise, so I've basically been doing that with a little discovery here and there, a little bit of skill work.
Yeah, I've definitely went into this thinking that like hitting the 20 to 25 range is when we really start paying attention to politics of the game. So I'm getting close. I'll start looking into more of that. The only reason I know how much the fort costs even is just because I saw it on the map and I wanted to go check it out, and I went out there and it's like, yeah, you gotta have $100,000, and I'm like, I have 1,000.
Yeah, I need 100 more of those.
Cool. All right.
I was really surprised to know that the fishing was like this little mini game thing.
That's dope. I haven't fished yet. I'm excited to do that.
Yeah, it's good.
It's the things you get excited about. Fake fishing. I wouldn't go real fishing, but I will go fake fishing.
You don't want to go real fishing?
I go real fucking fishing. I don't know.
He's a bit of an indoor cat.
He's not, though.
It's a quote directly from him.
You're an indoor cat?
I work outside.
He does not
but
like going camping. And
I like going outside and hanging out for the day, but when it dude, I have never had the one time I went with Nick, it was great. The set was awesome. My sleeping bag still broke.
Okay.
Every single time I go camping.
Let me blow your mind.
No.
When you go fishing, you don't have to stay there.
That's
you can go home at the end of
okay.
the day.
That's fair. That's fair. I just don't like the last time I went fishing. My dad yelled at me, and it was awful. And since then, I haven't gone fishing.
If your dad doesn't yell at you when you're on a fishing trip, then you're not fishing with your dad.
That's exactly correct.
that tracks. That tracks. 26 was rough, guys. No,
Thing is,
it's like 13, but
Dad, I'm 26 years old. Stop yelling at me. I don't want to kill the worm.
exactly.
Bait my hook for me.
I would. I'd go fishing. I mean, I thought I knew somebody who went fishing, but he never invited me once. Not once. But that's okay. Hey, it's okay.
I fish solo 99% of the time.
It's fine.
Dude, I fish. I actively fished many times this summer. It was delightful.
He didn't invite me even once.
I caught, I think, 3 fish this summer, which is 2 more fish than I caught last year. I'm bad at fishing.
Did you eat any of those fish?
I don't eat. No, I do not eat my fish.
You let them go?
I let them go.
he just wants to scare the
Stab
shit
them
out of them
in the mouth,
for a minute.
pull them out of the fucking water, and then just throw them back in?
No, I also rip the hook back out of their mouth and then throw them back in the water. And
humane.
pray that they swim away because, admittedly, sometimes that hasn't happened.
Not before you give it a little kiss, though.
So you just throw a dead fish back in the water?
Well, I mean, I feel like it's still alive
Sleeping.
when I throw it in the water.
It's sleeping.
As long as they don't swallow the hook, you can throw them back alive.
Yeah.
No, I had one small fish that I caught, like when I went to.
And he just pulled its head off, like, on the hook.
I mean,
Oh.
almost.
There you
I was fishing with a spinner, so it's got a treble hook on it, a 3-pronger. Mm-hmm. And when I went to get it out of his mouth, it just ripped his jaw off, and I felt bad. But it was literally like this big, and he should have known better.
He bit off more than he could chew.
Yep.
Well,
Should have not wasted my time getting me excited. That was his punishment.
you should have just
Now you're
casted him
food.
back in there to catch a real fish.
I mean, that probably would have worked.
Ah, shit, fuck.
This fish keeps getting bigger all the time.
The Lando Calrissian official. Fish gets bigger all the time.
Calrassian. Wrasse, the fish. W-R-A-S-S-E.
I'd say about like 75% of the
Well,
time
it's
my
fish
fishing
chips.
trips end up just being me
Drinking on the riverside.
in the river.
Oh, okay.
Just
I got a couple thing-a-doodles.
He's got a thing-a-doodle.
Touch it.
Thing-a-doodle do.
It's real. I can't touch news. I'll go to jail again.
I will go to jail tonight.
I will go to jail. That's funny.
Fucking tooth.
What?
I've got a bad tooth or something.
No. That blows.
Yeah. Just, every now and then excruciating pain. That's about 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's not good.
No.
Looks like you got a wet mouth.
Yeah. That's how they work.
yeah, it's
You have
healthy.
a dry mouth?
Sometimes.
Dry mouth.
It always reminds me of that really old internet video of what was that, Elle Camping from The Office?
L camping?
Is that her name? I'm probably way off.
Oh, a person. L is in like a first name.
Yeah.
Who was she on The Office?
L.
The red-headed, dorky.
Oh, the one that
Ellen-
liked the
L
dude-
Kemper?
Elle Kemper. Yeah. I was
Kimmy
close.
Schmidt.
Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah. It's L Kemper.
You've seen that old video of her talking about giving her boyfriend a blowjob?
Yeah, with the teeth.
I was like,
I'm going to make it so dry.
so
for
dry.
you.
That's how you like it, right?
No. Why are you chomping?
It's more of a gnaw than a suck.
Get out of my box, Josh.
No.
Oh, yeah. He's got a wet mouth.
Gross, dude.
You're welcome.
I'm collateral damage.
You were traumatized by what you just had to be next to?
I don't get a choice in it. Your wet mouth.
Oh, Josh, stop mouth raping Nick.
This is precarious. You shouldn't have done that.
Precarious.
Whoa. What's going on over here?
Nothing.
This thread's getting loud.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Purple drink.
Fish year round in Oregon. I like to go fishing. I believe fall is a time when the fish are.
Biting. Or just
To be
being.
fair, I've never fished not in the summer, so I don't know.
It gets cold and it gets wet.
Yeah, the rain doesn't bother me too much because you can just wear a fucking poncho or some shit. But
Yeah.
really, I'd like to just be better at fishing.
Yeah.
I tried hard on my own this summer, and I improved like what 300%.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all you can hope for. Well, I mean, they say a bad day fishing is better than a good day working.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Do you know how many things can go wrong having a bad day fishing?
On the lake shore?
Yeah.
Godzilla?
Bugs, poison ivy,
Perchlorates?
falling in, hurting yourself, hooks are involved.
All of
It's-
those things are at my work too.
Oh, I mean, you work as a fisherman, so it makes sense.
In
That's,
the woods, there's a creek and hookers. I mean,
damn creekside hookers, man.
creekside hookers.
You stealing your lemons? Or are those the whores?
No, I gotta squeeze them out. No, I sometimes deer pee in the creek though, so that's kind of.
Are your deer hookers?
I'm glad there
Are
are
you
no
running
creekside sharks.
a ring? What's the...
Really, I'm glad that like ticks aren't a huge problem in Southern Oregon, as long as you're not wading through waist high weeds and shit like that. And then leeches also aren't
Oh,
like a thing.
Man, if leeches were a big thing here, I might never go into anything that wasn't a pool ever again.
I wouldn't. 100%. I hate all creatures that suck my blood.
I can't believe.
Ugh.
Like Josh. That's why he's got such a problem with you.
It's accurate.
Well, if you just let it go willingly.
Can't resist that wet mouth.
It's moistened with.
I can't believe
blood.
people in Florida.
Nope.
I can't believe people in Florida swim, honestly. Like, they're like, oh, here, let's go into this natural body of water.
I can't believe there are people in
fucking
Florida.
Thank you.
People in Florida eat faces, so
They're not worried about a gator. No, for me, it's the talking snapping turtles and the water moccasins and all that shit.
You're bound to have a dry mouth when all you do is. So,
yeah, I meant like, I don't know. So like they still talk. So there's got to be some sort of supernatural lubrication. No, we're talking about vampires now, Nick.
Yeah, come on.
Shit.
Catch up.
I was stuck on the adjective for deer. I was thinking about Josh's Servine hooker ring. Vampires.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Their blood?
They said I bet a blowjob from a vampire is dry. And I'm like, they can speak, right? So that's obviously implying some sort of supernatural
Wetness.
lubrication that's happening. Their body can move.
I mean, maybe their vocal
damn,
cords
Dracula, you're supernaturally wet.
change to be like our knee patella, where it's like super slippery.
I think there's bound to be blood.
Yeah, maybe they just have blood mouth.
Yeah.
You know, you associate
have
vampires
you
with
have blood dick if you've got a vampire
I would
sucking your
think
dick.
the blood would only be there if they bit you. Because vampires lack blood. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You can't assume there's going to be blood. They're
No,
here
I'm assuming
for
it's
the
your blood. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also,
Also,
are we assuming vampires lack blood because they desire to have blood?
If they don't have blood, they die. They
right,
need
but that's
blood.
just food.
Yeah, so I'm just saying I wouldn't assume anytime there's a vampire there's going to be blood.
Does a vampire
It's like,
poop?
do you assume there's always a hamburger every time
Is he
there's a
pooping?
human?
Is vampire poop?
in America, yeah.
I mean,
They drink the blood. What comes out?
if they
the blood
absorb
out?
all the...
Is it just full absorption? Is that butthole
they Kim
unused for
Jong
as long as
it.
a vampire is a vampire?
I don't think with a lack of solids, they wouldn't have to poop.
Do vampires poop?
Black Acre. I would rather not poop than have that leak out of me if I was a vampire.
I think they Kim Jong Un it. They just don't have. They recycle all of their fluids and they're 100% efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Traditional undead vampires do not poop.
I guess
so
they're
says the
undead.
internet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It is beneficial.
Hail.
This comes from ilovewerewolves.com/do vampires poop. So
Slash do vampires asking the real question.
HTML devoted to it.
that's awesome.
This is such a freaking question, dear listeners, that
We're gonna have to secure that URL.
I had a kid at
Vampires
work.
poop.
He asked me, he's like, straight up, he's like, would you rather be a vampire or a werewolf? And I looked at him like he was fucking stupid because I'm like, oh, vampire, clearly. And he's like, what? It's totally a werewolf. And I'm like, you're dumb and you're wrong.
Russ, to be honest, you'd forget one day and walk out during noon and you'd burn up alive.
I mean, 100%. Like that's
It'd be
I mean,
cool up
I-
until
I'm-
that point.
I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be a good vampire, but
Are the werewolves like also immortal, like on that one show?
werewolves are not immortal.
Okay, well then I'm gonna choose vampire.
And what show are werewolves immortal?
Fucking I don't know, the one with Kate Beckinsale. Underworld.
Are they?
Yes, sir. They are immortal.
Somebody Google that.
I think they might also be immortal in the
They're called immortals. It's a war of immortals.
the White Wolf universe too.
White Wolf. Great White Buffalo.
What is it? Masquerade?
I think that website is biased.
In no canon that I'm familiar with are werewolves ever immortal. So essentially you have an affliction that like once a month you turn into a werewolf and go on a murder spree with like little to no control over what you're doing.
Some in the Underworld universe, the older werewolves could turn whenever they wanted to without the power of a full moon.
That's also something I feel is not common in the canon, that werewolves somehow get more powerful, whereas vampires in almost every canon do with age.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I mean,
they're just fancy liches.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Like, I mean, it's the whole point of a vampire werewolf war is the werewolves are like a horde of animals that roll over.
Okay,
them or
well,
some
let's
shit.
roll with some variables here. If you had a werewolf that was immortal, that also got stronger with age like a vampire would,
It would be Wolverine.
Would you then think that you'd rather be a werewolf than a vampire?
Fuck yes.
No, you're wrong. You're still wrong and you're dumb. So what you get more powerful just means you get stronger. Because that's all the werewolf has is strength. That's the only power.
Let's stop thinking about the positive each side and think of the negatives. If you're a werewolf, the majority of the time, you're going to be able to hide it at will.
Okay.
As a vampire, you can't do that. And depending on lore, you can't go into houses unannounced. You can't cross running water. You can't ever be out during the sunlight. Your skin goes white. You grow fangs. Like, you have to live in the sewers.
Why do you have to live in the sewers?
Because if people see you, they're like, holy fuck, it's a vampire.
I mean,
He's not showing up in my TikToks.
How would you know if somebody was just a vampire?
It depends on
a pale person.
Like,
right?
we've got everything from Edward to Nosferatu. Like, it depends on what type of vampire we're talking about.
That's to be a sparkly vampire.
I mean, I definitely don't. I mean, that has upsides. Yes, you sparkle in the sunlight, but you can be out in the sunlight.
Yeah, but you don't die. Yeah, that's true.
Dude, I'll take the sequin job if I don't have to be. Only
werewolves
at
do
night.
have regeneration, which is healing. So, or fast healing.
Yeah, who the fuck's walking around with silver bullets these days?
Anybody that wanted to kill a werewolf.
Yeah.
So if they're like, oh, werewolves exist, and then we kill them all because fucking silver bullets.
Also, I think silver bullets are more of a case when you're dealing with small arms, like today's modern problems. Somebody get a fucking M2 Browning. Doesn't matter what those bullets are made out of. You're going to turn into fucking Jello, right?
Yeah,
I don't need silver. I got hydrostatic shock, bitch.
That Love, Death, and Robots, where the werewolves were soldiers. Did you guys see that one?
That was a good one.
Second season?
No, I think it was in the first season. It was
I
dope.
watched the first season. I'm trying to remember that one. Oh yeah. And
then
they
went,
were fighting in like the fake
and you had to
Middle
go
East.
fight an old badass werewolf.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's how
Love,
the
Death, and Robots is pretty
werewolves are, and
cool. Second season is pretty cool too.
I would say like, you make thralls, you could like hypnotize people as a vampire. So like you could just hypnotize and thrall up an entire defensive army around you at all times. So it would make it substantially difficult. Like you'd have a defense when you're sleeping.
I would choose Lich over vampire any day.
Well, I mean, we're not. Come on. I agree wholeheartedly.
It seems like a
Lich is all
given.
the way.
Yeah.
I mean, then you're talking about essentially like damn near omnipotency, right? If you're immortal and you can keep learning more and more magic.
I mean, yeah. I mean, assuming even there's no magic, we're just randomly you're a lich in real modern life. Suddenly you have like necrotic gaze, super strength. You can raise the undead, and you also live for as long as you want to, as long as your phylactery is not destroyed. So you can take the time to learn everything. And yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
Did you say if magic's not a thing?
I said even if magic wasn't real, like one day I woke up and I was a lich, I'd be much happier than if I woke up.
How's
and
your
I was just a
phylactery work
zombie,
if magic's
right?
not a thing?
What?
How does your phylactery work if magic's not a thing?
Science.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Indistinguishable from magic if sufficiently advanced.
You just, and then like in the following sentence, you said necrotic gaze, and I'm like,
That's also magic.
We were talking about like being a vampire in real life, right? So I'm just saying in a similar scenario, if a genie came up to me and like, no, you're never going to get to learn fireball and teleport and lightning, but I'm going to make you like a traditional quintessential lich.
okay, so you get the base power suite.
Yeah, of
of
being
a
a
lich.
lich.
Okay.
You get the immortality without this vulnerability to sunlight and all the other stuff.
But I mean, in the same vein, we established that vampire and werewolves could get more powerful with age. So how does a lich gain more power with age?
I become God King of Earth because I know everything and I run all the politics from behind the scenes because I've been alive since before Jesus was born, right?
So you're Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, little man.
That's why Jeffrey Bezos built a rocket. He needed to get his phylactery off the planet.
Before they find out.
That's what I mean. He's like, oh yeah, I started.
Why do you think Elon Musk sent his fucking car up into space
Yep.
like first thing? It's
Yep.
because in the boot's a fucking
It's a little
urn.
It's one of those little egg shells from a 25-cent vending machine.
It's the birth
Just
certificate for
breaks
his
open, it's got-
null error child or whatever that kid's
Just
name is.
the grasping fist of a poor black kid that used to work in one of his emerald mines, clutching the phylactery.
Musk, how dare you?
That would be theirs. Mine would be one of those gooey, sticky hands out of the 25-cent machine.
Dude, those are really difficult to destroy.
Right? I mean, They get gross as all hell. Nobody wants to touch it.
Oh,
They're
God.
like,
Oh no! Fleshlight. Fleshlight. Nobody wants to touch it. Just like they take a fucking beating.
You keep it in the fleshlight.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Then you got to remove it when you want to do your thing. Like, come on.
Are you gonna fuck your own phylactery?
No, that's why you got to remove it. Well, yeah.
I imagine that would be extremely uncomfortable. I don't even know how to
taste my own power. My life essence.
Apparently, all liches are weird Skeletors.
I mean, they've already made vampires and werewolves into these sexual icons, so
Yeah.
now it's our job to make the lich.
The lich needs to just be super perverted. Like,
What's like the? I think I talked about it last time, but I'm on this like Warhammer lore kick, and the Eldar elf race is that's what happened to them is because they were immortal. And so they just descended into like sexual murdery debauchery to the point to where
that's the way to fucking do it.
They spawned a god, it's a demon god, Slanesh, through their like multi-planet orgies.
Have enough sex. Create the new Bacchus.
Yep.
Josh, you spend as much time in Russ's camera as you do your own.
Well, that's because we're too fucking close.
I mean, we actually have quite a bit of space between us, but you just like being inside my box.
I want to be in everyone's box.
Can't get Andy's box.
Get inside my phylactery.
I'm going to get over there, Andy. I'm going to get over there.
Do it.
Fade that box. Here I come. I'm knocking over 409.
No, it's going to be 408 now.
You almost made it.
Box. Shit.
No.
Nick.
I'm not helping.
No, don't fuck with the cameras.
You
Don't
know,
fuck
break
with
the
the cameras.
chair.
Those are like $50 Walmart chairs.
I haven't broken a chair in a while.
Yeah,
so
because you're
let's-
due.
Yeah.
You're like a volcano.
Chair
You just
break.
send out alerts.
It's like
This one's
Yellowstone,
going to be
man.
real hard to
It's-
fit
it's
in the
good.
cabinet outside.
It's overdue.
Yeah. It's once every 10,000 years he breaks a chair. But it's been 8,000 years. So,
I mean,
Yeah.
real due.
okay.
I just hope it's not an
Foisted
expensive
upon
chair.
you. You have to be either a mermaid or a dryad. So you're either stuck in the water or attached to a tree.
Now, am I a mermaid with a people bottom or a fish bottom?
Whatever the fuck you want. You're just in the modern day ocean, which means you got a short amount of time before those plastics build up in you.
Or I'm a dryad?
Dryads are attached to trees?
Dryads are like a tree spirit that have in traditional lore, they're like attached to one tree and they protect like a grove.
I didn't realize that they were like physically attached to a tree.
Like
If the tree dies, they die.
immaterial, spiritually attached to it.
Oh, well, then I'll take that one. I don't want to
Yeah.
be half. I mean, I wouldn't
Yeah.
have a penis anymore, so that's off the list already.
But you'd be a hot wood chick.
I have to be female too? What is
Oh,
this?
Dryads are
Dryads
female.
are female.
What? Yeah.
Read your mythology, Russ.
Fucking cancel that shit.
Male dryad.
We're canceling
Cancel-
dryads.
Cancel dryads.
Male dryad. Oh, no, wait.
Is a drawn dad.
What is a male wood nymph called? Satyr. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Kinda.
like they're cousins.
The satyrs are always
happens
trying to
when a
bang
satyr
the,
fucks a
the
tree, you get a
dryads.
nymph.
Yeah.
Or a dryad.
They're cousins to the nymph. Yeah, satyrs, tritons, maenads. I think
Maenads.
maenads is Middle Eastern. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I
forget
wouldn't want to be in the
everything.
ocean.
I mean, if you're a fucking mermaid, then you rule that bitch.
No, killer whales rule that. We've established.
Oh, that's
that.
true. They are the most disrespectful animal
That's
on the
Greek.
planet. So,
What am I thinking of? Ifrits, jennies.
Jenny's.
Jenny.
Ifrits, Jenny.
Imagine rubbing a lamp and getting that genie. He just comes out. I'm Jenny.
Do you risk the wishes at that
He
point?
holds up like 4 fingers. You get 2 wishes.
Okay. Wow.
He doesn't even even trying to monkey paws you. He's just so bad at his job.
You know,
Your wishes
dude,
get
that's
fucked.
fucking rude. Forrest Gump met 3 different presidents. All right,
Dude,
like what the fuck are you doing?
I would just love to be flipping through the monster manual and suddenly there's the Gen A.
It's in a mobility scooter.
They will chase you forever, suffering zero exhaustion. Like it is, they do very little damage.
They own a shrimp boat.
Really good at ping pong.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you risk the wishes from the Gen A?
You're gonna get a lot of shrimp.
Would you have to word them like extremely simple? Because normally you want to be extremely like succinct, not succinct, but like in detail about your wish, right? Just be like, I want good food all the time. And then they give you like a Ford F-150 or something.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
I'd take that.
You can drive to food now.
They like you lose all your taste buds, so you assume every food's just tastes like nothing. You're like, all right, this is my life now.
Everything's fine.
I mean, somebody offers you wishes, you risk it every time. I don't know.
Absolutely.
About like,
Fucking absolutely.
Thanks, Gen A.
I would start with something like, I wish Josh XYZ and see how that pans out. This is depending on the outcome. Yeah.
I mean, that's a win for you.
Yeah,
You're
it's
double-
It'd
you're
be something nice,
I
like
hope
you win
so.
the lottery or something, and just make sure that I don't get monkey's pod.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you're doubling your chances of getting a wish because now there's a second person that's going to wish for you.
That's true. I mean, I do like the sound of that, but I don't like the sound of monkey paws.
No, they curl. It's bad.
And then I hear they steal peaches, and I don't want that.
I think that's the entire monkey that steals the peach. Disembodied monkey hand just grabbing your.
It's gonna debag you.
jewels. What an awful trap. I'm putting that in
The
D&D
old
now.
leather sack snatch.
Don't walk around the jungle. There's shriveled monkey hands in the bushes.
Just
Holding
snatch your
testes.
peaches. It's like that scene in Vietnam movies or something where someone steps on that landmine.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
He gets a monkey paw. It's like, no. Don't move. It'll only grip it tighter. Here's my jock strap.
I want to see like a climate change, endangered animals are dying, send your money to help, but for mythological creatures. Show like a starving hydra in downtown Chicago.
So do one of those
Like
fucking
Arms of an
commercials.
Angel.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
You know,
Look at this.
Arms of the angel.
I can like fully extend my arm out to the edge of my box, and it's like a third of the way into your box.
Well, that's because my box is the smallest box. You guys are box greedy motherfuckers.
I think it's because your camera is so far to the right that we have to angle it a little bit toward Josh.
well, my camera's in front of me. Russ is in front of his, but Josh is
Pointed
off
at
to
Russ.
yeah, but
left.
Josh still managed to be in both of your cameras.
My superpower.
So
left screen wide,
yeah,
right screen wide.
It's my
Oh, man.
superpower.
Well, do we want to? Cast
yeah. We
some
should
pods?
we should probably start.
yes.
Oh, I need my notepad and my drink.
Does anybody
Your
need?
notepad's in front of you.
Does anybody
That's
need
it.
to tinkle?
That's
I
last
need
week's
liquid.
because I forgot.
Would you mind terribly grabbing me some liquid?
Depends on what
How am I going to hold it?
In your mouth.
Okay.
Right.
You want me to mama bird you some liquid?
If you don't mind.
Okay. Cheap,
Yep.
cheap motherfucker.
Cheap.
What do you want?
It's in my room. There's Pepsi 0 calorie on the floor.
Pepsi 4 calorie on the shelf.
Chungo. Oh, Josh, grab my e-liquid. It's on my desk. Thank you.
I just grabbed the closest one.
Is it full?
Rainbow number 1.
That's the one.
Oh, excuse me.
You're a fucking peach.
Oh!
That post in Discord is to let our Discord friends know we're streaming, yeah?
Yeah.
I want to know why Andrew isn't here.
He hasn't joined once.
Dryad's
Is he playing New World?
Nice sleeping.
What?
He said he was going to go to, like, he came over and he's like, hey, homie, can I get a couple of bowls from you? And it's like, yeah, sure. So I hooked him up with some weed. And then we smoked a bowl. And then he's like, yeah, I think I'm going to go to bed. And then I'm going to wake up at 2 in the morning and I'm going to play New World then. So that's.
Well, then I won't text him then.
I don't know. Maybe he caught the fever and just went ahead and went and logged on because he's like, man, it's going to be no good tomorrow if I stay up and play tonight. I was like, well, yeah, I mean, you know, probably.
I mean, it's better than staying up too late. Just start your day early. Because he works earlier in the morning, I believe, so.
2 is pretty early.
It's over there now.
So short.
Gonna smack Josh's phone out of his hand.
We gotta kill the air conditioning.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Kill it. Slay it.
And then we can get our
Noise floor. Slay it.
Slayer.
Who is opening their orifice?
me. But it's more of a sphincter, kind of thing.
I don't think your mouth is a sphincter.
It is.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could just go wow, 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 wow.
Like you just
wow,
did?
Wah, wah, wah.
That's all you can do.
All right, hold on. Is your mouth a sphincter?
Nope.
What would it be if it's not?
A mouth. Sphincter is a ring of muscle.
There are as many as 50 different sphincters inside the human body. Some are external, such as the mouth.
No.
Owned.
And others are
You went to
microscopically
that werewolf
internal.
site again, didn't you?
Yeah, it's werewolflore.com slash
our
is
mouth
your mouth a sphincter. That's where I'm going to get all my data from now on. It's just a werewolf site, man.
Werewolffacts.com.
Werewolffacts.biz.
.eu.
Oh, man. All right, let me see.
It stands to reason that the werewolf site would want to support that hole being a sphincter hole.
Oh, yeah.
Give it the old dry rub. Oh, I mean, there's probably at the weed pen too.
Don't give your mouth a dry rub.
Give me a toot
Or do.
of your douche flute.
Do whatever you do. Toot, toot.
I can't imagine it's easy to play a flute that's full of liquid. I don't think that works.
Can I have a toot of your douche flute?
He wants to doot doot on your toot flute.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
See, this is the douche flute. That's just a weed pen.
Yeah.
Robot penis.
They come in all sizes.
They call it a dongle.
It's really fun at work. I was like,
This
I'll
tastes
tell
like
people. That's the livest of resins.
It tastes like dirt. I mean,
Tell you it's fresh.
Josh went out to a fucking pine tree and got some resin.
rubbed fucking weed bud on
That's
it.
how you know it's good.
Don't smoke pine tar. It's not good.
It still tastes like dirt.
Where are you getting your dirt juice?
From Lamoda
Oh,
and all their reasonably priced products.
So the
reasonably
live
priced
resin
dirt.
Lamoda product means like, here's some fucking dirt weed.
Here, have your dirt weed.
It's free.
What he's trying to say is it has an earthy flavor.
No, it tastes like dirt.
Earthy.
Earthy, dirt,
Dirthy.
girthy.
Girthy.
All right. Do you hear it?
Gorthy.
You hear it coming? Noise floor.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
Girthy dirt.
No,
flavor.
Andy's on his phone.
Yeah, doing the things that I got to do.
Checking his cat pictures.
Yeah.
Have
Just
you heard
scrolling
of the
Facebook.
monster named Vacuum? He can scream and eat at the same time.
That's impressive.
Did anybody say who was opening?
You.
I asked, and you said me.
I did?
Yeah. I was like, okay.
That was 2
And then you
minutes
said,
ago.
but first, noise floor.
I think that was in response to something else.
I was the only one speaking.
Yeah, I mean that's
That
what
was-
it's literally. Nick's like, "Who's opening?" And you said me.
Oh, yeah.
I think you were just excited.
What does it mean to open? Just talking about stuff?
Yeah, who's going to just start the conversation?
Oh, I mean,
Like after the
that's-
noise floor
Yeah, I can start. That's fine.
closes.
All right.
It's not super crazy, but
I don't think there was crazy news this week. It's
There
just
really
New
wasn't.
World. Yeah.
so.
Yeah, Nintendo directed New World. All right, noise floor.
You can talk now.
Oh, did he gesture at me? I don't
He
know.
did.
Oh, okay,
He
I
did.
missed it. So I noticed today that Netflix acquired Night School Studios,
Yep.
which is a game development company.
Oxenfree, I believe.
They made Oxenfree. Has anybody played Oxenfree?
I have not.
It's the sequel to Ollie Ollie.
No.
Oh, okay, then no.
Ollie Ollie, I think, is actually a game, though, but that's a whole side thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I watched one of my indie YouTubers play like the first 15, 20 minutes of it back in a while.
I played it.
time
I actually
ago.
beat it. Surprisingly
Yeah.
enough, I was surprised. I'm like, oh fuck! I don't play a lot of indie games, so
This is one of these choices matter kind of.
it was like a puzzle game as far as like you had to figure out what was going on this island because you like opened up this ghost rift thing.
You don't want that.
It was enjoyable. Apparently, it was lauded because it had like a really good soundtrack to it, but I don't recall. It was at least entertaining enough that I played it, and short enough that my entertainment didn't wane before I beat the game. So
It's good.
it definitely has like multiple endings.
I feel like that's really good for a puzzle game.
Yeah.
I'm not puzzle gaming audience, so it's rare when I find one. I'm like, this ended at the right time.
Yeah.
You know.
I was actually just kind of surprised. I mean, this is the first time hearing about Netflix doing any sort of game development.
Yeah.
But it's not the first time, that Netflix has been doing. Like they've apparently been making some mobile games based off of like the Stranger Things franchise.
Okay.
And
okay, yeah.
as far as I could tell, I don't think that they were available here on our Android store.
I
Like they
haven't
opened it up.
seen. I feel like I would have seen that. I checked the Google Play Store weekly.
Yeah, and then like more recently, I think they expanded their market for where that game's available. Those games are available, but now it sounds like they're. I mean, they literally had a guy that was being interviewed for the article that they were talking about as their lead video game developer. So it's like
Okay.
they've clearly got a division behind it.
Yeah, I quickly looked at their not librarium. What's the word? Discography
Catalog?
I like
Yeah.
Librarium.
Yeah. They seem like a lot of kind of choices matter, choose your own adventure, puzzle style games.
Yeah, and it ties into the fact that we're going to talk about New World tonight because New World is made by Amazon.
Yeah.
And so Amazon's jumping, feet first, head first, however you want to look at it.
Bezos.
Wallet
first.
first, I guess, depending on how much they spent. And now Netflix is also getting in the market. It's not something that I would have ever expected to see growing up because growing up, video games were always niche,
Yeah.
and it was very rare when we get like a external media that was somehow based on video games, and 9 times out of 10 it was hot trash.
Yeah.
Blood Rain, Mario.
I feel it's
Yeah.
I feel it's less weird for Amazon to be in on the game. The
That
game
depends on how you look
scene
at it.
Then, well, I mean, they started off as like
They sold
stuff.
Books.
They sold
Books.
stuff, yeah, right. And then it became other stuff. I mean, like I don't know. They've already switched genres, So I'm just saying it seems less.
I
weird.
mean, in the context of modern day Amazon, where it looks like they just want to do everything possible,
yeah, like
they literally want to be
yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
So-
it's like they have airplanes and
Yeah,
I
they want
thought
brick
it was
and mortar
weird
grocery
when it
stores
was Amazon Prime and it wasn't just for deliveries, but they had TV shows and they were making their own content. I thought that was weird, but like I don't know, that was fucking
it's still
ages ago. So now it's just like, oh, Amazon's breaking into a new thing. It just doesn't. Yeah,
I guess.
don't know.
I don't think
it
it's
doesn't
like
seem as phase like
startling, but I mean, it's still kind of unusual. I think to think of. So Amazon, now that they're established as like a streaming service comparable to Netflix and stuff, then you're like, okay, they're in the digital content creation market, but it's not a next logical leap to say that they're going to go into making video games,
Right.
Like that's
Especially like jumping into AAA titles and not something like mobile gaming.
I see what you're saying, but just the simple fact that they're like, oh, I'm gonna do this new thing, and it just seems less weird than Netflix trying to like do gaming than Amazon. I don't know.
the Netflix path seems like the more logical, like Andy was just kind of hinting at and stuff, is that they worked into like some mobile games. Now they've acquired an independent studio. So they're not, fuck, Amazon's like, here's a hopefully multi-million player MMO with a cutting edge graphics engine and server support and all this jazz. And then Netflix is coming along. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna make some video games too, guys.
Yep.
Video games make a lot of money.
That's probably the crux of it, right? It's now that video games have blown up and are so iconic to just culture in general that they're let's
Amazon can just throw that big dick money around though. So I don't know. I just feel eventually Amazon's where it's going to all be. It's all going to be Amazon.
What always confuses me about
everything.
You figure you could easily say the same thing like Netflix is going to throw its big dick money around too, right? I don't understand how Netflix has money.
I don't understand. Like, Netflix doesn't have the same kind of big dick money as Amazon does.
Well, nobody does. It's Amazon, but still, like Netflix just seems like they're constantly in the news for spending a shitload of money.
They make a lot of fucking money.
Do they though?
I think so.
They spend a lot of money.
It seems they spend a lot more than it seems like they should have be coming in. Because
if they're spending that much, don't they have to have at least that much coming in?
According to Werewolf Facts,
the world works at all.
According to Werewolf Facts,
according to werewolffacts.com/how does Netflix make money from the massive amount of subscribers between $9 and $16 a month.
Yeah,
182.8 million paying subscribers reported sometime in the recent past.
So then the low end of that is $9 a month
times 182 million, so grossing $1 billion at minimum
a year.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Mystery solved.
Thank you, werewolffacts.com.
Saved again.
Always coming in clutch.
I know, it does really seem like Netflix all the time is just they're in the news about like, oh, we bought a bunch more IPs and we're going to make a bunch more exclusive content.
It's an interesting tack to take. You think about older movie studios and whatnot, pre-internet era, how they would acquire licenses to publish this or show that. And Netflix is like, you have an idea, like two brain cells rub together, we're buying it. And we're going to make that a show for one season and then probably not do anymore. So whether that's good or bad aside, like it's certainly a tactic, and they're doing the hell out of it.
I wonder, like, you'd assume they'd get a lot of good analytics out of what people are watching because it's all streaming content, right? So if you stream a show, there's a record of you streaming that show.
Oh yeah, I'm sure every time you use their app, they're monitoring everything, the amount of time you spend looking at a given preview. All that stuff.
You have to ask yourself, what is their metric of success that they keep not making multiple seasons of these shows?
Twitter feeds.
You can't. Yeah,
how much
cancel culture.
hate do they get?
I assume it's probably just watch time. I mean,
it's got to be watch time, number of watches, number of repeated binging episodes, right? So,
especially when they can compare it to the rest of their own catalog.
A lot of people also have really bad taste, I think, and so it tilts the scale unfavorably towards bad productions.
Yeah.
So are we just gonna wade into New World? Should we just
bad taste? I thought we were talking about your pen.
Yeah. Nice segue there, Smooth McGee. Josh's like, I'm tired. I want to talk about New World.
No, let's talk about New World.
Netflix is dumb.
Shut the fuck up.
Amazon was in that part of the conversation. It works. You said New World first. I waited.
We could have brought it back around, but instead you're just like,
I'm gonna
fucking jailbreak this shit back to go New World town.
Speaking of movies and TV,
I like Jaybreak.
Jaybreak.com. Check it out.
/Werewolf Facts.
What?
Other way around.
Yeah.
You get to jailbreak.
We've been
through
there multiple
Werewolf
times now.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
Werewolf Facts is the portal to all knowledge.
I got excited, and I put my jailbreak before my werewolf facts, and now it's all fucked up.
Yes. All right. So Joshua, I forget how I point at him because cameras.
Can you hear Russ's finger?
Joining us in the PC Master Race world.
Yeah, it was my first weekend in, and you know, as an adult white male, when you say I joined the master race, that hits the ear funny. Let me tell you, you got to add the implicit in gaming in there. But I got my first PC, very excited, and I joined my first MMO. Much to Andy's chagrin, it was not WoW.
Within one day, you already didn't want to go to work.
Yeah, within one day, I was right to avoid them for so long. Is what this is telling me, but also how very wrong I was
About
playing on the console. That is not enough. That is not enough. I was wrong for years.
gave you a taste.
About 20 years?
Yep.
Just took a while.
A real while. There's memories of you trying to get me to play WoW on Facebook. So, but I made it.
You wisely stayed
in a
away.
different game.
You know, you're one of the few that made it the longest in college, and I think there's a direct correlation.
Probably. Yeah. I stuck with WoW. Didn't go to college.
Well, I mean, you know,
I might not have a bachelor's, but I know how to run a pub 40 man.
Yeah.
what the fuck is that?
You'd know if you had joined.
Okay,
Yeah, dude,
that's
come
fine.
on.
Yeah, paramedic. Get out of here. What do you like about New World so far?
What I like about it so far is how fucking realistic it is. Waiting in that queue must have been just like riding the boat over to the actual
they have
new fucking world.
The like velvet ropes and whatnot.
No, it's dark and it rocks back and forth. No, it was dark and a number counted down, but it was that joke was actually brought to you by Andrew Henselman.
That was good.
We were talking, and I told him I was going to steal it, and he said I could, as long as I mentioned him, because he wants to be like he's here in spirit.
Yes.
He's kind of like Beetlejuice. If you say his name too much, he may pop up. So. Anyway, but it was I don't know, my first time, like when I walked into that first town, and like, you know, because I've played some Overwatch. I've been in
You've played Fallout.
I've played things.
I play games.
I've been in menus and seen people waiting and shit like that. But like, just the raw amount of people in one town on this one thing, like.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't know where you were going with that.
No, dude, I had to.
My first town, and
well, yeah,
I had to. Like the
that's
first
right,
time,
that's
the first time I walked in and just saw like 500 people walking around in the one town. I was just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Honestly, it's so.
It's been a long
Yeah,
time.
it's
I'm
old
like,
hat.
It's
Yeah.
an MMO. There's just gonna be like random
Yep.
people with dumb names running around.
Yeah,
and-
I was just like, I mean, people were inviting me to join companies. It was very exciting. I almost became a shame pusher.
That is
But
also
Elaborate.
Boys.
dude, that is so fucking cool. Because I remember the first time over at Nick's house, I roll a dwarf in World of Warcraft. And I do the like hour, 2 hours of leveling in the starting zone, and then you end up in Ironforge, and just walking into Ironforge and being like,
Music hits you.
these are all real people. Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. No, dude,
and
it
look how
was-
huge this world is. It's crazy. Never seen anything like it before.
it was,
Yeah.
I literally had to stop and just like soak it in
Take it
for a
all in.
second. Like I was viewing a natural vista or something. It was.
Yeah.
It was really weird. It was definitely a new experience for me, and I was kind of bummed I waited so long to get into it, man. But
At least
I'm here now.
At least
I'm
you
here
recognize
now.
that moment. You're going to have a lot of those, but you only get them once.
Yeah, you only get them like, and I got to have that. That's kind of neat. That's
What's
kind of
going to
neat.
be, I'm looking forward to, is getting to live vicariously through you playing some of my favorite games that
Yeah,
I
that's
wish
gonna
I
be
could
fun.
go back and play for the first time
Look
again.
forward to that, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little more
Subnautica
excited. Just
on
as
there.
like that's a prime example of thinking I would not have thought to be wowed by the people there, but you bring a new light to that because it's new to you. That's pretty cool.
Are they going to have 20? Are they going to have raids in New World? Is he going to get experience like
So
doing a?
they have 50 on 50 war parties.
Okay.
So when you
And-
go to take another faction's territory, you declare war on them.
Gave me a Case
and
of the
then
tingles.
you assemble what companies that you're going to take to that war, and
those
you
are
actually,
guilds?
it actually forms a separate camp settlement outside of your fort. It's called a war camp.
Okay.
Where you can go there. I don't know what you do there because I'm not privy. I just
Haven't
saw it
done
while
it
I was
yet.
out there.
Jenga.
But it popped up like it wasn't there the first time I was out by
Yeah.
this fort, and then we declared war against a faction, and literally like the whole pillared, spiky fence things,
Okay.
New World or old America style, and big ass tents. And you go in there, and in the trailers and I think some of the videos online, you can see like all the people be like sitting around listening to their commanders about their game plan for their war strats and stuff, and it's got proximity voice. Which
I didn't get into that.
I haven't turned it on.
But
mine's been on. You don't get it for the first couple levels. They just don't let you use it for
Probably for the
obvious
best.
reasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd have to say the times that I've heard it used, and I would recommend. Side note: go into your menu. You want to turn up the volume of other players. Otherwise, it's kind of hard to hear them sometimes. But every game that I've ever played where they have a proximity voice chat, it never works correctly. It always seems fucking janky. This one seems to be working pretty great.
That's actually one of the biggest problems so far with the game is disconnecting from the VoIP client. I've gotten that
Okay.
error a couple times, and then a lot of people are just saying that it isn't working for them. So
Interesting.
to hear that it's working for you is good news. At least that's kind of proof of concept that it is working.
it does work.
Yeah. I didn't even know that mine was like had turned on after that initial like non-phase and stuff until I had other people start trying to engage me in conversation. Now the amusing thing is it's an MMO. 90% of the players are garbage people,
Right.
of whom I have no interest in conversing with. So, and I should say garbage people because there's a good chunk of just kids that I want to talk to,
Sure,
and
yeah.
all that jazz. But it's a neat feature. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was going to address something else and I forgot what it was.
How you mine for fish in New World?
So with a
Rocket
fishing pole.
spears.
Oh,
Rockets.
my bad.
No,
I was uneducated in this
No,
subject.
it's a fishing
No, and
pole.
it's the fishing pole, like the fishing aspect of the game is actually kind of neat. They go a little bit more in depth than your classic MMO where you just draw, cast a line and hit a button when it comes on. You get it.
You have to buy tags.
No, so you have different
No,
baits.
You do get
do have to
taxed,
tax.
though.
So you actually bait your hooks with different types of stuff. You have different types of fishing poles as far as quality and stuff goes.
I haven't gotten one yet. I have found bait, though.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
But then you active cast, so it has a little meter that pops up, goes up and down to try to long cast
Time
or
it.
short cast. It's not a timing thing, it's just how far out you want to cast because you're going to have to reel that length back in. So when you do that, it pops out with a little icon, just shows you have a bobber, and then it'll shake to let you know that like you're getting bites, but it's telling you to get ready to click, and then it'll pop up when you need to click with a little timer bar that like quickly goes away, in which case you hook the fish. Then it switches over to you reeling it in, in which case it has like a tension meter as it's gauging how far out it is. Obviously like other fishing games, if it gets too tight, the fish is going to snap the line.
Yeah.
It's the fish. So like I said, most time you click cast, you click a bobber, and that's about the extent of fishing in most other games. So I don't know if that's great for an activity that's already like kind of irritating to do.
The thing is fishing itself a skill, or is that just a further cooking
Harvesting or cooking, yeah.
yeah?
Well, I assume you get the fish from it, which you
I think
can then
fishing
cook.
is a skill.
Yeah, it does have its own tool slot. So,
It does.
oh
yeah.
my God, that's another thing that I thought was awesome. The tools, each one, you don't have to click to change the tools. Each tool has its own slot. I'm easily impressed right now.
No,
So, I
that's
mean,
that's
keep-
actually a
keep it up.
substantial quality
It's
of
a-
life
yeah.
improvement over a lot of games.
Big time.
Like it doesn't take up an inventory slot. It has its own very specific slot for that tool. I'm pretty sure it doesn't count against your weight limit when you equip stuff to those toolbars.
Which is also awesome.
Yes, it's very awesome. Because I know that applies to like your mana and your rations and stuff like that. So if you equip them to your active bar slots, they no longer count in your weight inventory. I assume you're magically levitating them next to you because that makes sense.
It's in the secret pocket.
My biggest complaint that I have, and we discussed it a little bit while we were playing, is that you have external storage for your stuff, like your own bank, essentially. It's like a little fucking storage closet, but it's individual to every settlement. So if you put stuff in this settlement and you're somewhere else, you don't have access to that storage.
Yeah.
And Andrew's talking about how he actually enjoys that because it adds a level of like forethought and planning that you have to have. And I mean, I can't argue that it adds like a bit of niche complexity to it.
Yeah.
But to me, that strikes me as like a bad quality of life choice when you're
Yeah.
designing a video game, just because they don't have mounts. You can't just instantly teleport from city to city without expending a resource to fast travel. And so you really are just going to probably get frustrated that
yeah.
you've left something halfway across the map in another fucking storage box. But
The more you're carrying, too, the more it costs you to teleport from fast travel location to fast travel location.
yeah.
So if you need to move a lot of resources from point A to point B so you can combine them for crafting or whatever, it's going to cost you more resources to fast travel.
Yeah, I literally had that example happen today to where, so all my stuff was being stored in the initial settlement we get to, and I want to move to the settlement that our syndicate,
you
our
got
faction, well, that our faction has. Well, yeah. To be fair,
Yeah.
you land in different areas depending. It's just random on where you go. But our syndicate, one of the 3 factions that you can choose in the game, claimed a territory. So I want to do most of my stuff there because we get bonuses and stuff while we're doing them there. So it's like I gotta pack mule all my stuff over to this other settlement. So I load it all out, and I'm vastly encumbered. My character can't move, but it's like, that's fine. I'm going to fast travel over and I'll slow walk my way over to my storage box. It upped the cost of the fast travel so much. I didn't have enough of the Azoth
yeah.
to travel.
Go juice. Yes.
I also had no idea how we were even accumulating Azoth. It just seemed like we were just getting it from somewhere.
I think the initial quest actually gave you the 200.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm almost positive it's those like storyline quests now, but at the time, like, I'm not watching.
Collect a little bit from everybody that you kill.
I mean,
I'm walking up to my quest giver, I'm hitting E repeatedly, and then I'm running off and doing the next thing.
yeah, exactly.
I'm reading a lot of things still.
Well, you're new to MMOs.
As you
Okay,
should.
so
Yeah.
Go ahead. read it.
I'm really I'm reading things.
Yeah.
I only try to pay attention to the main storyline stuff. Like when I'm going to fucking Joe the Fisher Butch.
The Fisher Butch.
He's a fisherman butcher. That's what you call him.
Oh, yes.
The Fitcher.
Like,
And he's like, "Hey, man, I need some bear asses."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Whatever."
Before we
okay, that's like those guys. I'll probably start doing that, but like anything that's like main storyline related, I'm kind of looking forward to like following and getting into.
it.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I want to know what this fucking world's about and
Yeah.
doing. I don't want to be at the end game raid boss and being like, "Why are we here again?"
what's a Hamadon?
Jesus.
Before
What
we
is a
lose the subject, it sounds like they took a lot of pages from Albion Online, which I could rant about for days. But in their system, it's a pretty heavily player-driven economy. You cannot fast travel. All of your stuff is stored per town. Each town's in a zone, and the zone's surrounded by zones. But the whole deal is the game's mostly, almost entirely about gathering and crafting skills in PvP.
Yeah.
And
No, you're talking about Albion.
Albion Online.
Oh, okay. So far, yeah, it sounds pretty accurate.
So you have to carry all your shit like to a different place if you want, but each place has their own unique auction house. So if I go to the West Shore and gather the type of fish that's only available here, I can lug that shit 3 towns away and it'll sell 5 times higher than it will at that town where the fish is spawning, because that's how the player economy works, right? So people can make money by buying low, selling high. It's a direct draw of Albion, as if you want to just make money in this game as a merchant, you can do that. Not counting all the Russian mobsters and everything that's been happening over the last couple of years with that game, but it's a side note.
We'll have to check that because I don't know if
that's how it works.
Yeah.
If the auction houses are connected, then it's just kind of a pain in the ass. But if they're individual to town, then you could essentially try to buy low and sell high by carting goods around.
Now,
That's
I
a good
definitely
point.
think that like it's not really that big of a deal because I assume I've already gotten, like, I went from having no Azoth, so fast traveling was kind of like, should I do it or should I just run the distance to this point?
Is
and
this
then
Azoth just fast travel currency?
no,
It's used for other stuff.
It's for us right now. It's the only thing we're really using it for, but it does come into play in other stuff. I think like respecking and some of your crafting stuff. Like I already know now that
currency.
you can add Azoth to your crafts to increase the chances of them having some sort of uncommon trait.
Okay.
So yeah, you'll use it a lot. Even in the intro videos we watched, they talked about how you have a maximum of 1,000 that you can carry on your person. So you're going to want to spend it, and the game gives you a bunch of ways to spend it. Not very clear on how you accumulate it, but my theory is that it's as you progress more storyline missions or just our story quests. That's me. Sorry.
Okay.
But I went from having almost none to like I did like 2 or 3 quests, not even entirely sure which ones they were, and suddenly I had like 700. And so I was like, okay, well, I don't have to worry about this too much. I just got to make sure that I am doing what I need to keep accumulating more. It's not like I had to go out and mine it or wait for it to pop up.
That's good. I read a lot of reviews, and they cover the whole rainbow from no to this is amazing, right? But from the most level-headed, it seemed like the general opinion is this game is something to look at in like a year. A lot of people are thinking this is going to probably blow up if Amazon keeps pumping money into it, because their most major complaint I heard was that there's not much to do. Like if you're not in there for the standard MMO grinding, you very quickly run out of content. So that's an easy fix.
What would you think a timeline is for when you run out of content? Like after you hit max level?
I mean, if they don't have well-developed PvP systems or endgame PvE raids, that's kind of assume the standard endgame MMO stuff, and I don't know if they have that yet or not. But that was the number one complaint I was getting from people who weren't just being dicks online, was that I feel like I'm already running out of content to do. I have no idea how far these people got into the game, but
I'm curious. Yeah. I didn't look into how much.
Stormy G 123, yo, what's up, dude?
I'm not entirely sure how much in the betas that they had. Did people get actively to the end game in the betas?
I imagine so. I don't know. I could not tell you.
From what I understand, yes.
Okay. So at least some experience. I definitely think it's not a game where it's like you need to wait a year to play it. I think it's going to be look at this game in a year.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to get at.
And it's going to determine whether or not it's a success or it's just another MMO flop, because it'll definitely be what they do going forward that makes or breaks the game. Because in my opinion, right now, it's solid.
Yeah.
It's going really smoothly. They got a lot of flack and people making jokes and memes about their launch day or the queue times, but I've played a lot of games at launch time. Amazon fucking killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Like having to wait to log into your game is not a launch day problem. Yeah. That's just something you come to expect because the population's high. People want to play on servers. You got fucking streamers that are playing on specific servers that like lock those ones up real fast. But we like didn't have game crashes. Didn't have to do server resets.
That's really surprising.
Didn't have to have there wasn't like a shitload of game-breaking bugs that people are running into in the first like 2 days now of the game. Like by all accounts, like from my own personal experience, they had a phenomenal launch.
Must have had a good beta then.
Well, that's the thing.
Used the beta for beta purposes.
Yeah. They've done like I think essentially like 3 different beta periods because the game's changed, it's evolved, and then they also pushed back the timeline. Like I think this game was originally slated to come out in like the spring. They pushed it back twice.
Well, they've pushed it back a lot of times because this revision of New World is completely different than the vision they had originally. I mean, it's been like 3 different games at this point.
It's supposed to come out in May, then delayed to August, and delayed to spring, then it's delayed to August, and now September 28th.
Yeah, with how much fun I'm
over
having.
2 years.
I'm see, like I go both ways on a game delay. Like if it's for a good reason, like I want a good game. So I'm fine with waiting.
All I heard was that you go both ways.
Yeah. Like the thing with Cyberpunk 2077, that's old news now at this point, but like some of those people got literal death threats against their families against for a game not dropping on time. Yeah. And then when it did drop, they got literal death threats against their family because people were unhappy with the game because it wasn't what they expected. So let them finish the fucking game.
I don't really understand why anybody gets upset about getting a fucking death threat from somebody online about that shit. If the person's dumb enough that they're death threatening you online and they're complaining about stuff like, oh, you delayed your game so that it would be better when it came out, that person's not going to be able to kill you.
There's been some
they're
doxing
going to trip
shit,
walking out the front door every morning.
There's been doxing and whatnot.
Yeah. You get people getting malicious. They can scary. If these people have any social media presence, they pretty much have to stop.
I mean, like, it's the same person is what I'm saying. Like, the same person who's pissed off that the game isn't coming out on time is the same person that's pissed off because the game wasn't what they expected.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, it's the same fucking guy. And,
How many times has it happened that
his name is Chase?
like somebody's been physically harmed following being threatened online? Like it's
I don't know. I personally don't know of any. But the doxing happens.
It feels like
doxing's giving away their personal information, like
Yeah.
who they are, where they live. Okay, well,
I don't
that's,
know.
and then that furthers harassment. I mean, so for like big name developers, CEOs, the C-suite and stuff, they have had people like show up at their house, leave threatening letters, weird packages. So I mean, there's also been a reasonable amount of swatting against these guys as well. So, I mean, while I don't know that anybody has died or been harmed, it really fucks with their life,
You also have to consider the angle
I
that some
don't
of these
know.
people
It's-
are women,
it
and
just
they get all that later on top.
I don't know. It's just that toxic fandom. Being a Star Wars fan, I have to deal with that a lot. But
I mean, I'm not saying that's like it's
I don't know,
okay
it's just the
or that
toxic.
it
Yeah, no.
happens
I'm
and
not.
stuff
I'm
like
not.
that.
I'm not saying that you're saying it or anything like that. It's just. I was thinking about it. It's like, well, I'm glad they delayed it because I'm having so much. I'm having so much fun that I went on a side fucking roll there or a side roll there because like. It makes me angry. I was thinking about it earlier today, but
It just makes me wonder if it's an example, and I could very much be wrong because I haven't looked into it, that we think that a problem exists because we hear about it a lot, but it's a product of the sensationalized media that we live in these days.
Oh, I'm sure there's
Because I always think about like a numbers situation. You hear about this murder that happens in a place, and then you think about how many murders happen every day. Or, you hear about somebody getting swatted, but like in relation to the actual community, if that happens to one person, is it news when there's 300 million people that one person it happened to? I don't know.
Semi-related is the stuff that happened during the Boston Marathon. Reddit got all up in arms and chased down the wrong guy.
right.
And that caused a bunch of trouble for the family. He got wrongly accused. I mean, this is something you'd have to look into to find, individual reports.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never happened to me, so I guess I would just have to assume that it's something you have to deal with as it happens. Because I on surface level, I think about like, man, if somebody's making death threats on me or trying to give out my personal information, I'd just be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Fucking whatever, dude.
I've gotten death threats just because I can't people in World of Warcraft. But when it turns into like, well, they find your Twitter and then they find your Facebook and then
Got a new fan, man.
Sure, yeah. I mean, if you can turn that around or whatever.
Fucking
But
follow us on Twitch, bro.
well, yeah. Please.
We need the
smash that
support.
like button with your hate.
There's no like button on Twitch, Josh. You need to Twitch more.
Okay, so
You need.
He's just
Sorry,
starting.
sir.
You're not
You
twitching
need.
enough.
You need a second monitor. It's already time. It's
Yep.
it
already
is.
time.
It is. Just finish killing Mike with jealousy if I get a second monitor.
Oh my god. Poor Mike.
Do we want to talk about how Nintendo fucked up in way A or way B?
Oh, I thought we were going to go back to New World again.
Oh, you guys still have...
I'm gonna wade right
Oh
in.
god,
Rasa.
we can go back and forth. With
We don't
New
have
World all
to.
day.
I mean,
I'm down to keep talking New World, or we
we can circle back,
we'll circle back. We'll circle the wagon.
which is the thing you do in New World a lot.
Circle around. Yeah.
You keep coming back.
Bring it around town.
But speaking of break, you guys ready for a break?
Already
Sure.
break time?
Jesus,
Yeah.
break time already.
Not quite.
Andy just wants to play New World. Let's get this
Kind
shit
of.
over with.
Boot it up,
Kind of a little bit.
I've got Lisks to croc.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. We'll
Oh, there was a crocolisk. I killed one.
Oh, that's true. There was a crocolisk. They have. Well,
They
I
had
mean,
six-legged crocodiles.
no.
It's not crocodiles.
It's big. It was a
agree.
big
They're
black
crocodiles.
crocodile, and I killed it.
Werewolfanswers.com.
looking. I got scared
How
the
many
first time I saw
legs
it.
does a croc?
It's 6. It's classically 6. Crocolisks have 6 legs.
Crocosis
Go,
licks.
go, go.
We'll be right back.
Too soon.
Fucking from Minnesota. Oh, excuse me. Oh, coming through.
Oh.
It was really, it's just a habit. Probably not the best to shout out chat people as fun as it is mid podcast section.
Honestly, that's kind of why I wanted to take a break.
I kind of wanted
Just
to
scold
let it
Josh.
hang.
No. To say hi to chat.
Yeah.
We got a new follow, Death Pro. Thank you for following. Princess
Welcome.
Wobbly, Minion Stormy, welcome, guys. I'm glad you guys
hello,
made it.
hello.
It's always fun to take a break and scold Josh, who doesn't
Well.
like a good Josh scolding.
True facts.
If we have Death Pro falling, so what does junior varsity death look like?
Junior varsity. What context? I missed that.
Somebody followed us Death Pro,
Oh, okay.
which implies a ranking of deaths.
Oh. So what would junior varsity death look like?
Yeah. I mean,
Coronavirus.
I think that's big leagues.
No, dude, it's medium leagues.
Just
Like polio's
100
big leagues. Fucking
The plague.
I'm
the
thinking more
plague.
like trampled by giraffe, like little Tyke's death, right? Where is junior?
drowned in elephant butthole.
Also, if a giraffe just steps on you once, is that a trample? Or does it require multiple?
It's an impalement.
Okay. It's a
mean-
smush.
They kick the heads off
No,
leopards.
that's just a
That's
king.
ostriches.
No, that's giraffes too. There's
Also-
a lot of things that kick leopards. Apparently,
Why are there so many things that kick heads off?
Polio Big League.
Polio big league.
Manny Calavera. Yeah, he junior varsity death. Okay.
I also
Good
feel
call.
like Princess Wobbly Minion is just a nickname for Colin.
I just pictured him in a tutu with a fucking crown.
Who is Princess Wobbly Minion? Who are you?
God, I hope it's Colin.
Let's put him on the spot.
We're in a fucking.
We have a friend named Colin that we'll probably reference.
I know we've
until
we've
the
seen
end
you
of
before.
time.
Who has quoted himself as being a pretty princess.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, that's why I remember your name is Phasmo.
Gotcha.
Oh, you played Phasmophobia with us?
Yeah.
It's your boy.
But yeah, Colin has referenced himself as being a pretty princess, and he also is very wobbly and definitely would
I don't
be a
know.
wobbly.
Is
minion.
he wobbly still? I haven't seen him in so long. Does
He's
he
the one that
wobble?
fell out of his house into his pool.
Yeah.
Did he fall
Like
or
a
was he
7-foot
pushed?
distance.
No, he fell out of his house.
Okay.
Tripped inside of his house into the pool in his backyard.
There's
That's
just
a distance.
That's a wobbly minion.
It's like a whole Mr. Bean skit. I think there's times like whether it's the tides, it comes in, comes out, I don't know, but Colin's center of gravity, like gravity pulls on him at a 15-degree angle.
Yeah.
So he's just listing.
All of his weight's in that big ass head of his. It's the
Constant
hair.
sea legs.
The hair.
Yeah.
You guys see in Discord I talk about how I fucking like pratfalled outside of Papa Murphy's.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's wearing those jean textured shoes that look like bowling shoes that I have. There's zero tread on them now. Like they came with tread, they've now been worn smooth. And then like I stepped on this concrete surface that had just a thick coat of freshly dried, smooth, non-dirty paint on it the other day when it was raining, and just immediately was like, nope, I'm going down. Can we save it? No, we can't.
No.
Well, honestly, I've found that at my age, it's easier just to prepare how you're going to fall rather than try and stop yourself from falling and throw your back out.
Yeah, I have a checklist every morning I go through. Okay, I'm going to fall here
Yeah.
and there. And
No, because
arms crossed.
there'd be a time where it was like there was a time in my life where I would just try to prevent myself from falling down.
And now you just accept
But
it. halfway.
now I've accepted it. I'm like, how can I land best? There it
I'm
is.
very pleased that I didn't like permanently hurt something,
yeah.
or not permanently necessarily, but like for a few days, like I was fairly unscathed. It kind of hurt my elbow a little bit, and that went away. I was like, all right, that's a good fall, especially considering how I just straight up went down.
So we need to get you one of these. It's an old person with a bag.
Oh, that'd be great.
The
Do you
fuck?
see it? He'll do it again. I'll show it for Russ.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. Instant diaper for both
Instant
your face
diaper.
and your
That's
ass.
what Josh needs.
Hi, Sharon.
Sharon.
Hello again.
Yeah.
In a less weird fashion this time.
Not suddenly
mean-
startling you.
Maybe less weird.
We said hi to her earlier through the
Doorbell camera.
Ring, yeah. The Ring device. It's a portal from our apartment to the shop.
Yes.
We Live in the Future. All right.
Distant future.
I'm going to move roughly 11 feet to my southeast. east by east.
Yep, I'm going to join him.
East by southeast.
Not me, Twitch. I'm going to
What
stay
did
right
we
here
determine?
with you.
Didn't we do the whole compass thing when we were playing DayZ?
That fucking
What?
game, man.
You remember we were talking about like call outs for directions?
Yeah, the
So
sun
southeast
didn't matter.
is a 45,
yeah, yeah.
right? Like bottom and right is southeast.
Yeah.
And then halfway between southeast and east is east by southeast.
Yes.
But then there was another step between east by southeast and east, and it was like easterly south fun times.
Yeah, I
or
don't
something.
remember.
Yeah.
A little, honestly, too specific for our needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got.
We're not the
found out about
military.
it. Boy Scout stuff. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Now I want to talk a little bit about Unite, about the rant about Activision getting fined so little money.
Well, now
Couple other
3 out of the
things.
4 of us have played Splitgate.
Yeah.
We've only talked about it in
Did you watch?
theory.
I will. Like to
Did you
talk
watch
about
Mortal
that.
Kombat? God damn it!
Also, the Hitman Good Old Games controversy
Sorry for
about
interrupting.
DRM.
I didn't see
Been
it.
Following that, yeah. Talk about that for a minute.
Yeah. Get that boy some nugs.
Get that boy some nugs.
Do they make dog treats for dogs that size, or does he just get a whole damn mouthful every time?
Get them nug treats.
Like
I don't know.
painting treats, the other size like Chex Mix. They make small, like super
Oh,
tiny
yeah, yeah.
ones.
Super, yeah.
Size like an adult.
Oh, yeah, these little milk bones like this big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be easy just to do
Favorite thing is coffee in the morning.
that. Does he chew on it?
He won't let anyone. So they try to give him the treat, and he's like,
No, not you.
"Man, give this to me." So then I'll hold it, and he'll like break little crumbs off.
That's pretty awesome.
Don't you know how this works? You give it to her, she gives it to me. God, I do not like taking things
This
from people.
Every morning. How many times do I have to remind you?
Exactly.
That's right. Good job, Crumble.
Crumbled.
Some juicy topics.
I mean, as long as it's not like little milk bone thimble, then
I mean, yeah, you know.
Yeah, Josh, you're supposed to be letting me buy you coffee.
No,
Like, hey, Sharon, come over here, get coffee. You want to get it for me? Because I was supposed to like buy you more coffee, or like if we went to the bar, we were gonna get you drinks. Or
yeah,
something.
we will eventually.
You
Like,
and Andrew.
yeah.
Well, that's not true. Andrew, you're good. We're square.
Yeah.
We have a give and take, but yeah, I still owe you stuff.
As far as I'm concerned, we're also square, very square.
We'll get you drunk.
Yeah, get ham bone drunk. That's the way to my heart.
yeah.
Oh, did Russ talk to you guys about Halloween or?
No, we haven't discussed Halloween at all.
We're thinking about doing a kickback, not a party, but kickback at the shop.
Oh,
Sounds awesome.
I'm gonna be doing decorating with the girls this Saturday, so the shop will already be decorated.
the goils.
Yeah, let's do something.
What's
Yeah, because we could clear tables off. So literally, whatever you guys want to do. Like, if you guys want to do a poker night, you can do poker. If you want to do like Halloween party stuff, like Andrew's, like we could do bobbing for apples or something, which probably not a good idea right now that I'm thinking about it, like COVID and all that. But we could do like Halloween themed stuff, or we could just like whatever. Andrew said he's broke, so he doesn't want to go out to the bar.
That's fair.
pussy?
That's what he said. And then,
So we
that
could-
was rude for me to say that. Anyway, he said he'd be down.
I just called him a pussy, so I think you're in the clear.
Yeah. And then Russ is talking about. So
That sounds fun.
there's lots of space.
Yeah.
We can put like some stuff outside, so you guys can like smoke meat outside.
Are we gonna do pumpkins?
We could carve pumpkins.
I'm down for pumpkin carving.
Start making the list.
Yeah.
Checking it twice.
That's the wrong holiday.
Great pumpkin's gonna know if you're naughty or nice. It's gonna take you out.
I'm gonna go remind Russ, and then you guys can
The great pumpkin's gonna take you out into the field if you've
Watch
been
as
a bad
Sharon
boy.
disappears. Oh,
Magic.
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 Well, as far as the pandemic goes, we pretty much didn't do anything last Halloween.
Yeah, I was pissed about that because Halloween was on a fucking Saturday and it was supposed to be litty fucking titty 2020 and instead it shit the bed.
Shit was supposed to get weird.
Weird.
Supposed to be weird.
Weird.
And not the bad weird, the good weird.
The good weird.
Kind of stuff where you end up with getting blood jobs and
Yes. ZJs.
Yeah, ZJs. And Adam, yes, you can be Tom Bombadil, absolutely. The brown wizard, is that right? Red wizard? What
No,
was
Tom Bombadil was
No,
the
yeah,
weird
yeah.
guy
Yeah, you're
who
right,
tried
yeah,
to do
you're
the
right.
stuff to the hobbits in the fog.
What? He gave them refuge and lambus bread.
He's a weird guy in the fog, homie. He could have fucking just been like,
Yeah, he was a forest wizard.
no, that's the brown guy was the forest wizard with the bird shit in his hair. Radagast.
Radagast, that is true.
That's the
You're
forest
thinking.
wizard.
I was thinking Radagast. You were thinking Radagast.
But-
Josh is right.
But Tom Bombadil, like he's definitely I think he might act. He's like a similar entity to Sauron. He's definitely old. He's definitely powerful from like a way earlier age, and he could have like put the ring up his butt and had been fine.
Yeah.
But like he was a weird guy in the Barrows, in the Fog Barrows, as I remember. It's been a while since I read The Lord of the Rings. I watch the movies all the time, but I haven't read the books in a minute. And he was omitted from the books because of how fucking weird he is. Or omitted from the movies, rather.
From the movies. Well, it just also didn't make that much.
Oh, yeah, it was also a weird tangent. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
Tolkien tangents enough with every song about every fucking tree branch. But yes, it was Barrows. It was Barrows. What the fuck? I'm not sure what a barrow is, but when I think of Barrows, I think of fogs and hills and Englandy town, Englandy fields, Irishy moors. The old forest, close to the Barrow Downs. Okay, see, Barrow Downs was in there.
Yeah.
I was partially right. Thank you, sir.
You down with the Barrows? Oh, wah, Just
Goose coming in to give Maverick his assist.
also,
but
and then ancient burial ground.
Okay. I imagine an ancient burial ground is a place that would have fog. Like like a fog that just won't lift.
Really sets the tone.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Andy,
Yeah.
when you eventually shuffle off this here mortal coil, Sharon just magically re-zipped through a thing there.
Have you guys heard of a kickback before?
I was going to ask you, what the fuck's the difference between a kickback and a party?
Do you want to talk with everybody?
Take Russ's
Are
seat.
there people on there?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
It says wobbly minion.
Yeah.
He's
That's Brandon.
Yep.
Maybe I'm the only one. Oh, my hair doesn't disappear this time.
Well, your shirt kind of does.
The greenish portion kind of
little
does.
bit,
A little
the
bit.
top.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're almost invisible. Josh was wearing a green shirt earlier, and he was a disembodied head.
It was a lot of
So
fun.
if I get my fancy chair for the podcast, it can't be green.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
I want a big fancy.
Unless you want to be sitting on something invisible.
Oh my god.
I mean,
wait, that might be pretty cool.
Actually.
Actually.
Like, because it could be a joke. Like, you don't
that's
know
something.
that it's there.
It's
but
Sharon and her
there.
magic
Yes.
floating powers. I like it. I like it.
Ah, now I'm tempted.
Green chair it is.
Right. Okay. Apparently, I'm the only one that I've heard. Yeah. I don't know.
So,
it's
kickback.
either a Hawaii thing or it's a ghetto thing because I've heard it before.
Now, see, I live near the ghetto. I feel like if it was a ghetto thing, I would have heard that shit.
Oh. Well, I don't
Well, I
know.
mean, not a real ghetto. Medford ghetto.
So when I lived in, I lived in Sacramento in the ghetto for a while, and then
Yeah.
I guess I grew up in the ghetto in Hawaii too.
Okay.
It's not like ghetto in Hawaii is still chill,
Yeah.
but
I mean, the weather's perfect. How could it be?
Hawaii sucks. And
Yeah.
so
Is it just because I've never been there? Is that why I think it's a
visiting's fine.
paradise?
But would you always want it to be just a little hot and sticky all the time?
Yeah, literally,
Yes.
you get off the plane.
Gross.
Ew.
I would just,
You already
just
sweat an inhuman amount. So do I.
that's why I'm just gonna blend in with everybody, bro. I mean,
I'll be-
be a sweaty guy eating barbecue.
You'll look like a melting snowman.
Yeah, and if
Oh.
we can afford the barbecue.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, this is
Also,
none of this
who's
is
gonna
working out.
barbecue for you? Like,
I
where are
mean-
you gonna find time to barbecue with 4 jobs?
I would make friends. I
Riding
don't.
the bus. I'm walking.
Kona
I
Hula
don't-
likes her colors. Also, Kona's from Hawaii.
Is
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot.
Mhm.
That one friend.
is there barbecue
Yeah.
there? Do people barbecue for you? Would I have to do it myself?
We talked one time about a word. There was some word that he was trying to pronounce, or was
Yeah.
it his full name?
I think it was his full
And
name.
you were like, "Can you pronounce this?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"I can pronounce it."
Yeah.
Kona, is kickback a Hawaii thing?
That's a good person to ask.
Yeah, true.
I mean,
Have you heard the term kickback in terms of like it's like
I
a
feel
party
like
slang?
I feel like it's a California ghetto thing.
like,
so that
yeah.
just hanging out?
I feel like there's
It's
other
kind of
things.
like surfer talk.
Kind of like surfer talk.
Yo, man, I'm gonna go back for the kickback. You know,
Just
like righteous. Except the only surfers I know are from the 1980s.
Kickback, hang loose, etc.
well,
Okay.
He knows what I'm talking about. At least
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
the only one. who
But
knows
yeah,
everything.
it's supposed to be like a chill environment, right? Like,
Yeah, that's why it's kickback. Literally, you're
Yeah.
just, you're not like raging out or like heavy party. It's
Right.
like usually smaller amounts
Have
of
you-
people, and you're sitting and drinking and like chilling.
Yeah.
It's not like we're gonna get fucked up.
Okay. I mean, I never go to a party with the intention of getting fucked up, but it sneaks up on you.
yeah.
I like both. You know.
Well,
I'm using intentionally the word kickback
Yeah.
so it doesn't get crazy.
kickback, talk story. That's my environment. That's where I thrive.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. That's what I like to. Even when I'm at parties, that's generally what I do, unless I get really fucking drunk.
Just you bring the kickback with you.
Yeah.
You are the kickback.
I am the kickback. that
Okay.
was my nickname in high school.
I listen to a podcast.
Hey, yo,
and
kickback.
One of the hosts has AKA this and AKA that. She's got all these different names. Yours could be AKA kickback.
Yeah. AKA kickback.
Andy, AKA kickback.
Le Gilles vibe.
The chill vibe. That's true. That's what I bring to the table.
Nobody likes it when I exude things.
I like it.
Well, okay, fine. Andy likes it when I exude things.
Yeah, I think it's funny.
Generosity in the morning by coffee.
Yeah.
The whole face.
I feel like that's Frank from American Pickers, but I know it's not, but that's who it reminds me of.
It's not.
But bring up Frank from American Pickers. Check that shit out.
Apparently, kickback might be a Hawaii thing. He knows
Oh,
what I'm talking about, and he's the only one that knows.
Now, I kind of made assumptions on what a kickback was.
Yeah, I didn't realize no one knew what I was talking about until it was either Nick or Russ that brought it up. I don't remember.
From this angle, his mouth looks like a little mustache, and that's a little beard.
No, that's Total Biscuit.
Okay, I'm just saying. That's what I thought of.
I looked him up and kinda. I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah,
Like a cartoon version of Frank from American Pickers.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's Total Biscuit. Who's that?
Man, you got all right. So forgive him.
Like, I mean, like I'm here. That's why I bring a lot of, like I said, I bring a lot of passion and
Yeah.
heart. I'm here to learn, guys.
Yeah,
Learn me.
learn him. So
Monsieur Crombert.
a little bit.
Enjoy my weird cups.
They're large. That's the
Russ
important thing.
Put a light in
Yes,
one of
Russ
them,
won't let me
and
buy
it gave me
non-Russ
motion
cups.
sickness.
Yeah. Russ has a great taste in cups.
He has great tasting cups.
Yeah. Fair. I like it. Like hand like this.
I want to be able to get my hand in there to
Yeah.
clean it with a brush or a rag.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! Your first blowjob,
Thank you. How'd it taste?
like cherries and limeade.
Been going to Sonic a lot.
First time I ever got a blowjob, my first question was, "Did you come?"
So I ate a weed gummy the other day. Turns out it was 2 weed gummies that were smushed together. You were supposed to separate and eat one at a time, I guess. I ate them both, and I didn't realize until I'd already put it in my mouth. I chewed once, and I felt it like break apart on a smooth edge. So I finished eating it, and I was like, "Oops!" But
I didn't consider stopping.
No,
just
no, I
noted
had a-
there were
I
2
had
of
a-
them.
banger fucking night on fucking Splitgate, dude. I did medium.
He ran into corners and forgot which way was
I played,
up.
I played with you. I did. I had an all right
Oh,
run.
yeah, actually, you did pretty well, so I can't say that.
It was all right. It was all right.
No, so last time Sharon and I bought some edibles. Well, I bought them for her at the dispensary. They're talking about they have these little cube gummies, and the guy's explaining to me that like this one is X potency with this many grams of magical weed high smushed into it, or you could buy like this 10-pack that has the same amount as this one gummy, but split up amongst 10 different gummies.
How the fuck would you do that and just buy the big one?
Well, so obviously you can manage your dosage in case, you know.
Josh just over here double fisting gummies.
Yeah. But so I get Sharon the one that's broken up because she doesn't smoke weed and she rarely ingests the consumables. So we get home and I was like, okay, I'll take one. You take one. And she's like, oh, I don't know if I want to take a whole one. I'm like, you should be fine because it's a normal size one broken up into 10 smaller ones. She's like, no, I'm still going to take just a little nibble of this one. I was like, okay, I'm going to take a normal one. And then I proceeded to just get doped out of my fucking gourd. Like I was uncomfortably high times 10 for a while.
Ugh,
and
that's the worst.
yeah, but I was very surprised because it was still supposed to be the diminished value of the weed gummy, but
I'm always surprised when I get uncomfortably high because it doesn't happen very often anymore. But every once in a while, I'll be like, "Oh, I hit that weed pin one too many times," and I'm wrecked for a minute or two here.
yeah, I mean, I don't do a lot of edibles, so I imagine it's going to have a stronger
I
effect
stay
on
away.
me.
I stay away from edibles. The gummy was the first one I've had in a while, and that's why I wasn't smoking a crazy amount. I was still vaping like crazy on the robot penis. And it was a pretty good night. It's a pretty good night.
Yeah,
but edibles fuck me up.
You were talking about doing medium on Splitgate, and ever since I saw this GIF, I've been trying to do it every time I go on Olympus. I've not succeeded yet.
Haven't
Where
even played
you
that
get
map
them
yet.
to jump off?
Not only is
Oh.
it jump off, you portal through, and you do it again, and then you see a guy.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
That was pretty dope.
yeah, that's pretty fun.
I don't know if it's as good as Rocket Trap, but it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
Pretty go.
It's pretty goat.
Pretty goat. That's a pretty goat.
Let's jump back into it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Jaja ding dong.
Who wants to give it the good old fashioned start?
The noise.
I was gonna rant about Nintendo fuck ups.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. All
You want to talk
uh,
about Mario first?
We can segue into that if you want, or if we end up doing it.
How many gummies did you eat
Juicy. None today.
today?
Get your last vape in.
Thank you.
It's really nice that it's not 1,000 degrees in here without the AC on.
Yeah.
It's working.
It's because we avoided doing anything productive during the summer.
Yeah. All right, are we ready, folks?
Ready, Freddy?
Got a noise floor. You ready?
So I hear a really cool guy is going to be Mario in the new Sonic movie.
Mario, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got Chris Pratt in playing Mario in the new animated Mario movie.
Mm-hmm. Traditional fat Italian plumber.
Yep.
The internet did not disappoint. I saw an opening video of Guardians of the Galaxy with the Mario theme song and him kicking those little womp rat looking motherfuckers as Goombas.
Yeah.
And he just said a couple of Mario phrases. He's a me. Yeah. It was he's a spicy meatball. It was
Does
great.
not say that.
I don't know. I haven't played Mario in a while, homie.
He says wah, and wahoo. Yep. Who else we got? We got I think the Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong.
I think that's fine.
I like that. I just want to. I could listen to that laugh all day.
Me too.
And coming out of DK, it's gonna be amazing.
There's been a lot of mashups of YouTube of his laugh and Donkey Kong doing stuff. It gets weirder from there. Charlie Day as Luigi was an interesting choice.
If we keep just doing this, I'm just gonna do all of my impressions of what I think their character's gonna.
Perfect.
Okay.
Why do we always go after the same princess? She's always leaving with the same guy. You know, I don't.
That leads right into Keegan Michael Key being Toad, which
That's the one I love the most.
Keegan's done a lot, but I loved his translations for Obama, the White House dinners. Mm-hmm. So I'm picturing this little angry, coked out Toad just going full rum ham on people. It's gonna be weird. Fred Armisen is Cranky Kong.
Oh, that's the old man. That's the old man Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's,
Okay.
I love Fred Armisen.
Yeah.
I didn't watch The Queen's Gambit, so I have no knowledge of Anya Taylor-Joy.
She's also been in other things.
No, she hasn't.
Yes, she has.
It's the only thing she's done so far.
Literally it.
Check Werewolf Facts.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
/ Anya Taylor-Joy.
If the movie is a flop, it is going to be mildly saved by Jack Black being Bowser.
Only if we get a metal Bowser song. Like, I mean,
I don't understand how any of this works. I mean, trying to picture this cast of people voicing Mario characters, I'm like, what even is this?
it's. I'll tell you what that is. It's. Are we?
I'm waiting for you to tell me what this is.
Well, I just don't like. I've already dropped an F-bomb, and I don't
Who
even
the
know.
fuck cares?
Okay, well, it's that big dick energy, is what that fucking is, dude. Sorry, I just like if
Some of
we're
that
gonna-
BDE.
Yeah, it's big dick energy. It's just saying, hey, you guys remember that Mario movie? Please don't. But if you do, here's this cast. Look at all this. Look at it.
You could play 2 hours of just somebody streaming any Mario game and you beat the original Mario movie.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah,
I found it
that's
just
really
interesting that like now of any time is I guess as good as any to make a Mario movie. But I was talking to Adam looking into it. Nintendo used to just franchise their licenses in the 90s. Whoever the fuck. You want to make a Mario movie? Sure. And then they did. And they're like, okay, never do that again. But now it's like, 30 years later? And like, now is the time for an animated Mario movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
They're far enough detached from the original that they can give it another go. Plus, it's animated.
Am I wrong
Makes all
in
the
thinking
difference,
that there
right?
are a bunch of like animated Mario things that already exist, like movies that are straight
Not
to
official
fucking
No, they're-
DVD? Or,
Nintendo
There are.
things?
So, official Nintendo, like, they had the Mario and Luigi show.
so yeah, it's like a
Yeah, but that
Saturday
came
morning
out, like,
cartoon
in the
kind of thing.
90s. I'm talking about like
Mario
Oh, like
Bros.
recent?
Show.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about recent.
I mean, they had the Pokemon movies. But that was made. I don't
Pokemon
know.
is not Mario.
It's Nintendo. I'm just thinking of Nintendo franchise like films.
Sonic.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
No.
Well,
It's not
making-
Nintendo.
Sega.
well,
And obviously, Nintendo doesn't have an in-house movie making team. I don't know who's making this Mario movie. I should have looked into that.
oh, it's the same people who are it's the same studio that did
It's okay. Take a breath.
Despicable Me.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think I did see that.
Who the fuck did that?
I mean,
I would assume that was like Pixar
It's
or
not-
DreamWorks or Pixworks.
Internet's failing me.
I mean, at the end-
Dreamar.
At the, end,
Dream.
at the end of the day, it sounds like it's in at least good hands.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Despicable Me is a
we'll
movie.
see.
That's accurate.
The internet is telling me. Production studio.
anyway.
I have been, as the resident only MOBA player, I tried out Illumination Entertainment Universal Pictures. Made
Yeah.
Despicable Me. Okay, that's a mouthful. I've been playing Pokemon Unite. It's Nintendo's new MOBA, released on the mobile platforms. It's been on Switch for a while. And it's plagued by all the same problems MOBAs normally have. But
People that don't know how to play MOBAs.
yeah.
Everybody's jungling mid.
Well, the jungler, their layout of their maps seems to almost want to push the jungler out of the jungle and into a lane, which is great for a lot of quick, easy ganks. But what it usually means is on your 5-man team, I go to top lane as the tank with my ADC, and then my jungler just spends the whole game in the bottom lane while their jungler spends the whole game in my top lane.
Right.
And suddenly it's 2v3 for 10 minutes. And it's like, oh, okay.
What is a jungler? I've never played a MOBA.
So the 5 rules in a traditional MOBA map, you can see there are 2 lanes on the outside, a lane down the middle, and the jungle is the spaces in between those 3 lanes, right?
that connects the lanes?
So a traditional map has a top lane up the left side of the edge of the map and over to the top to the enemy base. Bottom lane's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And then you have a middle lane diagonal through,
Yeah.
and the 2 spaces in between those are the jungle. Does that make sense?
So you know that picture with the stairs all going every which fucking direction? That's
Yeah.
what you just fucking described to me.
You guys
so-
need to take, this is super basic geometry. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Jungle's the space in between. So mid lane's usually like a mage that get really big and powerful.
So the lanes
the
aren't
game?
actually like a closed off tunnel. It's just
not typically.
implying,
There are
like-
walls, but there are spaces where you can get into the jungle or out.
Okay.
from
Okay.
it, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, usually you have 2 people going in one lane. It's like a tank and the ADC, attack damage carry. Somebody who's super weak early game and they snowball and become high attack speed or high crit late game. The mid is usually a pretty tanky survival mage because they have to be by themselves a lot. They usually have a lot of control or high burst damage. The other lane is usually a solo lane where you have the bruiser or the warrior that has a lot of health regen, and they're kind of their own tank, but they can also do some decent damage. And then the jungler is the one who
Goes where he's
goes
needed.
and ganks and joins a lane to push and all that. So you've got that traditional role in a much different map that's much smaller. And yeah, but, you're playing casuals. Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing because they can't be bothered to look up a 3-minute video on YouTube how to play the game. And then your ability to communicate, which is paramount in MOBAs, is you're limited to like 5 voice lines. Help me, I'm going top lane, gather here. And the here is just you. You can't even like ping a spot, right?
I think I heard someone talking about like there's no voice communication at all.
Oh no,
or-
you can talk in the lobby before the match starts if you want to open your like widescreen keyboard and try to type out a message.
Well, and there's no voice communication in most games on the Switch too. Just
Yeah.
period.
So I mean, I understand you don't want to do voice comms because then you get the toxic behavior and whatnot. Nintendo's not going to allow that.
Yeah.
But on top of that, there was bugs with 2 of the Pokemon. Allowed one to easily do 5 to 10 times as much damage as they should be exploits. The other one had like their ultimate cooldown, pretty much no cooldown. And Nintendo just like everyone's clamoring. Can you turn these guys off? Like at least on ranked until the big update in 5 days. And it took a few days for them to announce that they're going to do it. When the big update comes out for one of them, it's just a clusterfuck. And I was like, why am I even doing this? So, Mario
Yeah.
movie.
Can I put in a little a little good news in this Nintendo sandwich?
No.
Okay. Well, then
Next
I'll just
topic.
wait. I'll just wait.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The thing I saw that made me most excited was the new Nintendo Online member plan and the games you could play with
Yeah.
it. They are bringing back classic 64 and Sega Genesis games. What? So, I mean, have you wanted to relive Echo the Dolphin? Those tales? Maybe. Do you want to do it with
Maybe
friends?
figure out
That
how
was
that
Sega?
game's played.
Yeah, I know. I never
it
figured it
Sega?
out when I was a
think so.
child.
But-
I was like, I'm a dolphin and I blast sharks with my mind beams.
Do you even encounter sharks? Like I don't remember being able to get out of like the starting pool of water.
I remember I swam around a little bit. In any case, Star Fox 64, we're going to be able to zip around, do barrel rolls, and shoot your friends right out of the sky. F-Zero X, what the shit? Are you kidding me? I get to play that again, maybe? I mean, what? Mario Kart 64. I don't know. Like some of these games were like what I broke my teeth on being like 3D gaming. So to see some of these coming out, that's really cool. It's really punching that nostalgia button hard. And I thought Nintendo,
Flicking your nostalgia bean.
yes sir, yes sir,
It's so
flicking that bean.
It's so apparent that you just started PC gaming because this is like we've been downloading
love it.
emulators since we were like 12. You know,
Well,
so-
you know,
Well, not only are you getting the new computer stuff, you're getting to relive this other stuff.
Yeah,
I
100%.
love that his first go-to for this new Nintendo thing is Echo the Dolphin, which
I
I am
know.
correct,
Well,
came out
I
on
mean-
the Sega.
so
It wasn't
but they're releasing a whole bunch of
Yeah,
Sega
they're-
games.
yeah,
as
they're-
part
I
of
know,
the
just like
service.
of all the classic
Yeah.
Nintendo
But like
games.
there's Castlevania, Sonic 2. I mean, like and more to be released. So it seems pretty cool. I thought their new Mario Party announcement was pretty awesome because again, they're bringing back N64 maps, and
Yeah.
that's like those were the maps that I had the most fun on. I played the most Mario Party on a Nintendo 64.
We all did.
Yeah.
Right?
have this scar
So
to
if
show for
if
it.
I'm gonna
Right.
fucking play more Mario Party, I see it happening on those fucking maps. So.
Yeah.
I mean, like they
It's so hard to jungle in the new
they
maps.
tickled it is they tickled my nostalgia bean in an appropriate manner. I also thought the new Metroid Dread looked pretty awesome. Getting back to getting back to her roots, being a
love
side-scrolling
Metroid.
badass
Yeah.
adventure. I don't know. I thought it looked good. So there were some neat things that I thought Nintendo did. And then there was a couple of previews where I was just like, is this a Zoomer having a stroke? What the fuck am I watching? Splatoon 3.
Splatoon.
Splatoon.
Like Splat and cartoon.
Yeah, Splatoon.
Splatoon.
Splatoon. Like that was, yeah. That,
a very
that one
popular
it just,
game.
It just confused me.
Yes.
It just confused me.
It's Overwatch with paint.
Yes.
Yep.
And I
good
don't
way
know.
to think about
I've never played Bayonetta, but it looks like it has a little bit of everything. You want to fucking capture a kaiju demon Pokemon? You got it. You want to be a sexy lady with too big of boobies? I mean,
Too big of
big of
boobies.
boobies.
Like,
like,
is that
I'm just saying,
too big boobies or your boobs are too big? I don't know.
Was it an A or an OF?
No.
It
Too
was-
big of boobies?
I'm just saying she could feed a family of 8 and still open up her own Baskin Robbins.
Wait,
Jesus.
And like she's fighting kaijus, she's got guns and high heels. It looked fun. I didn't understand what the fuck
sounds
was
like
going
she
on.
wears a lot
but
of hats.
The
was a
scary
thing.
thing was
And
is I
leather.
like, immediately thought, like, how many nipples does she have?
I thought of the flavors. It's Baskin Robbins, 31 flavors, right? 21?
Man.
Bayonetta's got so many flavors.
I'm just saying.
Check werewolffacts.com for the flavors of Bayonetta.
How many nipples does a Bayonetta have?
And I don't know. I watched a little bit for Super Smash Bros, which is just another. I mean,
They're not
I
making
don't.
a new
I mean,
one.
I don't know why you get excited about any of this stuff because none of us get together and play Nintendo
Yeah.
games because we're lame.
Maybe we should.
We own
We
two
definitely
Switches
should.
between the four of us, so
Yeah, Adam's got one.
yeah.
That's a million. Like you only need 4 little.
yeah, the Joy Cons
Yep.
are happy co's or
Little-
whatever
little
they're called.
Happy
Joy-Cons.
Joy-Cons was right.
Yes. Yeah, you
That's
got it.
kinda-
Nailed it.
Nailed
Yeah.
it. But something like dude, literally everybody is in Smash Bros. They got fucking Solid Snake. They got fucking Ryu. They got, I mean,
Echo the Dolphin.
Echo the Dolphin. Sonic is also in Super Smash
Look, I
Bros.
got all of them right here.
It's
Pull up. You can play.
you can play as fucking Pac-Man.
You can.
Yeah.
Also, the big announcement for a new Smash Bros was
So,
like a
I
massive
mean-
increase in the roster.
No, I think he's just
everyone-
The new one is Ultimate, which
pretty
has been
much
on the Switch for a while.
Anyone who's been in a Smash Bros game is going to be in this one.
I
because
thought they
some
always
people-
just added more. I didn't know they took people out.
they
Well, they've
apparently-
made what 3 regular
four?
melee, brawl, ultimate. So is that 4 of them?
That's pretty
Yeah.
dope, dude.
Yeah, and they don't. I mean, they keep at like each one has a bigger roster than the last, but it takes some time to add. And a lot of the Nintendo Directs will come out with like the new character that's going to be coming out this quadrant for
Sure.
Smash Brothers, and there's always this huge gathering of is it going to be Banjo Kazooie? Is
Yeah.
it going to be?
Yeah. I'm familiar with the
Yeah.
hype. I just didn't. I didn't know if they had like a rotating roster because like I don't know the significance of this announcement.
I just felt that they definitely. I mean, because I laughed a lot with that Mario movie announcement, but I did feel like they got some things right with the Nintendo Direct there.
Oh well,
I don't feel like they mashed as many buttons as PlayStation did.
sounds like
theirs,
Goose and
but-
Chat's kind of late, like the whole Smash announcement. Licensing issues. Some characters were absent from later games. Ultimate solves this, so all the characters that had to be phased out are coming back.
Looks like they're up to 81.
What the fuck?
And you can play as Steve from Minecraft.
Or Alex.
I'm sad I even know that there's a Steve from Minecraft.
You can play Josh from Video Game Tango.
You can play Duck Hunt from Duck
Yes,
Hunt.
you can play Duck Hunt.
You're the dog and the bird.
Yeah.
Oh,
Forgot
just be the
about
gun.
that.
Oh, dude. Okay, like
Shoot
if
people on the screen.
that
Come at me,
fucking-
bro.
Dude, that fucking Duck Hunt dog. Fuck him.
Well, I
Fuck
know what
Yeah.
character I will always choose if we're
Fuck that guy.
100%.
Yeah.
just gonna piss Josh off in Smash Bros by being the dog.
Well, in less
Colin
fun
pisses off by being
news,
Kirby.
because I am a Debbie Downer,
Uh oh.
Blizzard finally reached a settlement with the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission over their sexual harassment claims and lawsuits.
Yes.
$18 million they're going to have to pay out of their $1 billion year revenue
$18 million doesn't.
To who?
to make amends to eligible claimants, and any amount not used will be donated to charities that advance women in the video game industry or other things.
Huh.
Okay.
So, one kind of note on that is one of their 5 major lawsuits that are going on. Also, that was done in a day. The lawsuit was filed and the settlement was made in a single day.
That's cool. They should have taken longer and charged them more.
Well, honestly, probably a good thing they didn't, because now the lawyers representing the equal employment opportunity are going to make less money, and hopefully,
how that works.
and hopefully more money just goes to where it's supposed to be.
The victims.
Yeah. I mean, considering I think it was Kotick made $144 million
Yeah,
this year is what I was reading.
dropped his salary and
154.
paid himself a massive bonus.
Mm.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
Because one of those makes headlines, the other one doesn't.
You have any more good news, or did I win? Because I got more coming.
What I mean, we could intersperse it with. I did find a magical gun that I didn't get to use.
In real life?
No, in New World.
Oh.
That's good news. But let's go. Like, we can wade right into the bad news. You know, that's really, that dude should make no money. Like anything,
Kotick?
like anything he was paid this year, that should go to the victims. 18 million does not seem, and I understand there's 5 other suits, so maybe they're going to lose some more. Like,
Just add a 0 to every suit. Just keep it going.
In all likelihood, except for the ones that they're trying to fight to save face, they're probably going to be kind of middling settlements. I mean, when you look at $18 million, you also have to remember that they have some of the world's biggest games, all of which have, not all of which, but some of which have subscription services. All of them have freemium content, or paid for content, rather. You know,
really-
at the end of the day, $18 million
Slap on the
is
wrist.
just chump change.
it honestly makes me certainly don't want to go home and play Overwatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop giving them your money.
Instead, we'll play the Amazon game.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, give it to
So-
Bezos.
No complaints as far as I know. Amazon is a perfect company.
Yeah.
100%.
They
Known for
haven't
their
had any issues.
humanitarian practices.
Yep.
Yeah,
Really
absolutely.
taking care of their employees.
Absolutely.
Yeah, those pee bottles in their delivery trucks, that's just for convenience.
And I think
Who
now
hasn't done
that
that?
Bezos took his phylactery to space, we don't have anything to worry about.
On that wiener rocket.
Yeah, oh, God.
The Bezos Wiener rocket.
Yeah.
Taking his lich phylactery to the moon.
Andy, Russ, do either of
We
you
did it.
use goodoldgames.com, GOG?
I have.
Okay, yeah. Well known as a Steam alternative for notably DRM free games, digital rights management. It's essentially extraneous
Anti-piracy
software,
software.
anti-piracy stuff that's designed to keep people from being able to pirate games. It's been a whole thing since at least Stardock back in the 2000s. It usually means that the people who legitimately pay for the game have troubles playing it, and the people that don't still manage to pirate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Good Old Games is known for not only making it really easy to install and pick up old games, 80s, 90s. They're cheap. They work well. So if they need a DOS box, it automatically runs and does all that stuff. But then the DRM was also a huge draw. You don't have to worry about that. Once you buy the game, you own it. You can download on computers. How many you got? Well, they recently put Hitman, I think the newest one, up on Good Old Games. And the problem is, yes, you can buy the game and you can play it. But if you want to unlock almost any of the items, weapons, outfits, starting locations, and not start like every map of the few you have available with nothing, you have to connect online through a form of DRM. And because of that, a lot of people have been review bombing the ever-living hell out of the game on GOG. And GOG decided to do the wrong thing, in my opinion, and say that they will not stand for it. And they're going to remove reviews as well as maybe perhaps some other weird threats to people who continue to review bomb the game because of this DRM thing. That's not how you beat the internet.
Yeah.
In my experience online, you don't push back against the raving mob and it ever goes well, especially when you're a smaller company that's, trying to compete with Epic and Steam and the Microsoft Game Store. So
It doesn't sound like it's their doing though, right?
no, but they chose to put the game up knowing at the time that a lot of the content of the game is locked behind this online DRM. And as someone who's like touted being DRM free entirely 100% all the time ever since GOG's been around, this is considered by a lot as a huge slap in the face, potentially like a slippery slope and other issues. And then of course these people, right or not, are getting even more mad that GOG's pushing back against it. So more internet drama.
Video games is just a constant source of drama.
Does buying the game and then having to have it check online then disqualify you from being able to connect to that stuff because you bought the game somewhere else? Or it's just
I
the
don't fully
concept?
understand. It's a form of DRM.
Okay. Honestly, I didn't know that that's what their main branding focus was anti-DRM.
It's just
versions
one of the
games.
things. I know GOG for being able to pick up old games and have them run flawlessly.
Yeah.
And the site's great, and I love using it. But
I thought it was just like cheap games.
they are usually really cheap. I mean, anytime, like if they have a game that Steam also has, you can be pretty assured that the prices are going to be the same. So if Steam goes on sale, they put it on sale for the same.
Now,
amount or whatnot.
Russ, are you thinking of G2A?
I don't know. Maybe.
You might be. 'Cause GOG, I mean, they do have good game sales, and they do often have decently priced games. They work with Humble Bundle quite a bit, but G2A is the cheap game place.
So with this
probably what I'm
GOG
thinking of.
thing, are you paying less or the same for the game that you would be like say on Steam?
It's usually the same price, but they also have access to some games that Steam doesn't.
Okay.
Noticeably,
But,
their back catalog
in
of old computer
Hitman
games.
in this case is not going to be that though, right?
Hitman's not going to be what?
It's not going to be. It's going to be on Steam, and it should be.
It is already on
Right?
Steam as far as I
Yeah,
know.
it
It
is.
should be the same, like the same price then, right?
Well, they're
It's
they're not
the
beholden.
price isn't the current
Okay.
the concern. I mean,
So,
they usually have
but
the
if
same
I-
price just to make sure that people are
But
also.
if I buy the game on Steam, I'm not going to have those same restrictions.
No, you do.
You have
You do.
Yeah, you have those same restrictions,
It's
but the
not-
problem is those restrictions carried over to GOG.
think
Which
it's
is
a
not supposed
analogy.
to have DRM restrictions.
Okay,
That's their thing.
so if I buy the game on Steam, am I going to be able to get the weapons that we're talking about here?
You cannot unlock. I don't know the specific weapons off the top of my head, but there's a lot of weapons, outfits, other items that you can't permanently unlock in the game. You have to earn over and over again, as far as I understood it, unless you connect to their online DRM thing to check to make sure like you have a legitimate CD key. It pings their online servers.
Oh, okay. But if
So-
if you've bought the game on Steam, then that's no problem to do then.
Well,
Or
Steam's
is it-
never been a no DRM platform. It's
Yeah.
assumed that there's going to be DRM
In
based
fact,
games.
They have their own DRM.
I think I'm having trouble understanding where.
Let's think about it this way. Let's say
Wait.
there was a cell phone store that promised that they would never allow
just-
apps on their store that ever access your microphone. And that's what one of the things they're known for is like a Samsung competitor, right? And then one day they allow an app to connect to your video camera. It's like it's close to connecting your mic, and you're like, well, you kind of said that you never were going to do this, and like, yeah, well, it's not quite exactly that. And it's like, well, I feel it's like that. Does that make sense?
I would look at it like when they announced the last Xbox, when they said that it was going to have an always online feature that would check to make sure that you had a legitimate copy of the games that you were playing every time you played it. So it'd be comparable to like you own an Xbox already, and then one day Microsoft is like, okay, now your Xbox has to be online to play any game. That's what DRM is essentially. Is that checking to make sure you have valid copies of the stuff.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this website prides itself on not having to do that DRM stuff.
So like you wouldn't have to be like online.
Yeah,
or,
it wouldn't need to go
okay.
online to check.
No
So
online
you could just play
checks.
it. You could just play it anywhere.
Play it however you want,
okay.
wherever
You own the
want,
game.
whenever you want.
Okay.
Your
A
game.
lot of people do these.
Okay.
Use good old games because they have a shoddy internet connection, or they don't have a constant internet connection, or they have old computers. So some of that concern is legitimate.
And so it's more akin to that the console game. You bought it on. It's like
You have
it's
a-
yours. You
almost
can
like a
play it whenever the
physical
fuck you
copy.
want.
Yeah.
It's essentially a physical copy.
Yeah.
and the
So
important thing
Hitman,
is,
Hitman plays the same across
Okay,
wherever
now,
you get it.
Now I see where we're fucking getting at here. I totally missed the bus.
it was a
on
lot
that
of
first
jargon,
part.
a lot of inside baseball.
You also haven't been on a PC for
Yeah,
the last
no,
few
I know.
years.
Yeah.
Like,
This
not
has
familiar
been-
with DRM.
This has been a real learning experience for Josh tonight. He's heard new terms. He's talked about new things.
Well, the crux of the DRM, like, and why most of us hate it, is precisely because it never stops piracy, so it doesn't work to do the thing that it's supposed to do, and a lot of times just causes issues for you trying to play your game.
And one of my biggest complaints is a lot of these DRM things have to connect to some outside server to verify your copy. And then you have the problem of game companies creating games, and then the company shuts down, and those servers shuts down, and now you can no longer play the game. That happens kind of frequently. And there hasn't been a lot of AAA games that I can think of off the top of my head, but we're losing game history. You're losing the ability, like I know it was bad, but the second Spore game, there was that All Points Bulletin shooter, those games that come out. And then once those connection DRM servers are down, you can't ever play the game again. And then you have issues where like Walmart's still selling copies of the game in the store, but if you were to buy it, you wouldn't be able to play it, and a lot of the DRM, I think they put on there just for like the few initial weeks when the game comes out to curb that initial piracy in the hopes of making back this faux proxy meta money that may or may not exist. Because when I pirate games, it's because I'm broke.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy the
Yeah.
game.
Right. If I have money, like I used to use GOG all the time. I'd check, do they have it in as well as Steam? Then I'm going to get it on Good Old Games. Right, it's kind of a side thing, but I like to just support indie devs. But if I don't have money, I might pirate your game, and then if I do have money, I will pay for it. So
It's pretty much how it's always worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
If I can afford it, you get my money. If I can't, then I'm either going to pirate it or I just won't partake.
yep.
Speaking of weird old games and stuff like that, we're getting an Age of Empires 4 this month in October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the first
very
new Age
exciting.
of Empires in like 15 years.
Damn.
They came out with the remaster a couple years ago that did really well.
I'm kind of curious. Like, I haven't actually looked at any of it yet, but I'm like, is that a thing that will fit in our modern day? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be?
For the people that play those games, yeah, they've been thirsting for it, Timberborn, have you guys heard of that?
I've been watching a lot of it. Yeah,
Yeah, man, that looks good.
it's
What is it?
a RimWorld with beavers.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say. I wonder if it's the Beaver game. My friend was talking about
Beaver
today,
game.
where it's a city building game, but you play as
It's
a beaver.
colony
and-
management
yeah,
game.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
play as
Simulation.
beavers. After humans die, the beavers gain sentience over however long, and the crux of the game is you go through wet and dry seasons, and they get progressively worse. So you have to manage your water, and you have to build dams on rivers
Wonder
to
what
flood
that's like.
plains, and managing water. Oh, you'll find out. Give it another couple decades.
Yeah.
But no, it looks pretty good. It's
Let's see what
pretty
we can
classic
shut off.
colony management game. I'll watch.
I'll have
maybe
to
about an hour of
look
it.
at it. It sounds kind of interesting.
It looks fun. Yeah.
Beaver Rim World.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's not nearly as complicated.
No.
It's a colony management
Yeah.
game is really what I meant. But yeah, I did see some Age of Empires 4 gameplay when it first dropped, and
Now,
it's just like a really fucking pretty RTS.
I was gonna say, it's like it's gonna be. I think that's gonna be fun. That looks fun. I mean,
Did you ever play any real time strategy games?
I
Command and
played
Conquer,
StarCraft. So I played StarCraft, but I mean, throw me some Kniggets and
Yeah.
whatnot in there, where you can command.
One thing Age of Empires was lauded for so well is it was just finely
charge.
tuned. The game was so much fun in PvP playing against other players because it was just extremely well balanced. The design space of the individual factions wasn't huge, so there wasn't a lot of room to fuck up. But even still, to this day, I mean, even before they remastered Age of Empires 2 or whatever that came out a couple years ago, it had a pretty decent, thriving competitive scene. But yeah, as you can see, you
Looks
work
pretty.
your way through the ages. Very pretty.
Hot damn!
Wonder if it'll run well, because notoriously those fucking tiny unit army games, as soon as they start upping all the graphics on them, just start running like fucking mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their processor destroyers, man.
I mean, I think about as they continually tried to advance the graphics of the Command and Conquer series, it got jankier and jankier and harder to run, even on like good current gen hardware.
Which is weird because I never felt like they were fucking like pushing the envelope there, visually speaking.
They even weren't like. So last
No.
one I think I played was I think it was Generals.
That was the last one I played too.
Yeah, where you played as like either the
Tengu.
terrorists, the Chinese, or like the Americans. Was like the three factions I think
Yeah.
you played as, and it looked terrible, but played like it was trying to run some sort of gorgeous work of art game. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what's the malfunction here, guys? My tank's like 4 polygons. Like, I'm like
Yeah, they kind of rotted out from underneath themselves. It was a dying genre.
Sadly,
yeah.
It got turned into MOBAs.
Still waiting for my Alpha Centauri remake though.
Oh, I'm afraid.
Maybe one day. The other two games I think that are slated for October is Far Cry 6. So
Yeah.
if you're a Far Cry fan, that's now's the time to play Far Cry again with a different skin
Well,
and different voice actors.
yeah. I
will.
mean, a lot of the best parts of Far Cry are just the narrative and the. I mean, well, it's not the
I'm just
it's not the narrative. It's the characters.
Crazy villains.
Yeah.
At least one
Yeah.
set of tits per game, right?
I mean, and
Climbing
what is it?
towers.
Giancarlo Esposito. You know who I'm talking about? Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Gus.
The guy from Usual Suspects.
Yeah.
Yeah, Despacito.
Definition of insanity. He was a fantastic character.
So, okay. That could be good. The
Right.
last one seems like they did a pretty good job with it. So
That dude, I mean,
Boss.
he's typecast, but I mean, nobody plays. I mean, other than that German guy that was in Django.
I think they only typecast him since he
Oh.
played Gustavo
Davis?
Fring, but before that he wasn't.
Yeah, but no, I mean, like he's yeah, but like he nails that fucking bad guy character.
Yeah, that dude's scary.
Yeah, like it's just that look. It's good.
Did you know he was in Usual Suspects?
I did not.
He's one of the detectives that's working the
Oh,
case.
So not the bad guy.
He's very young looking.
Okay.
You're thinking of Giancarlo Esposito. Voss,
Everyone is but you.
Yeah.
you were talking about the villain from Far Cry, right?
The new Far Cry.
Yeah,
6.
from 6.
I was thinking about Far Cry 3.
Everyone's talking about the same thing but you.
But
You're
me.
other Googling wrong.
To be fair, he was the best villain in any of the Far Cries.
Well, maybe until now.
No, unless they bring him back. Josh, did you watch the YouTube series of Voss from Far Cry 3 and McLovin?
No.
So the actor who plays McLovin,
Yeah.
like this real life recorded film series, he goes on like a cruise, and the ship gets attacked by pirates, and he gets captured, and he's captured by the voice actor who plays the villain from Far Cry 3, who's playing that villain. And it's a series of like camera things of them fucking with him. They get him buried up to his head, and they're putting scorpions in a bucket, putting over.
Okay.
It's hilarious. I'll have
Bless
to
you.
show it to you.
Excuse me.
But worth a watch.
Oh yeah.
So I know Josh listens to Behind the Bastards
I do.
podcast. Have you listened to it at all, Nick?
Nope.
Okay. I know Andy doesn't.
Nope.
Andy doesn't podcast stuff. He's too busy with our podcast.
Yeah.
Feel free to talk about it, though.
No, I was just going to bring up somebody mentioned McLovin, and I was going to say there's the guest that he has on for some of his episodes is the younger guy.
Garrison, I think.
I think his name is Garrison. He is McLovin. In my head, he
Yeah,
sounds
no, that's
exactly
that's my
like the
headcanon
guy.
also.
I had to Google it because I'm like, oh wow, that's kind of crazy. Does he have literally the actor that plays McLovin on his podcast? Is that guy like secretly like a podcast buff and history buff too? And no, it's not the same guy.
But it
It's
does look
somebody.
like him.
It doesn't even look like him,
Oh.
but he sounds exactly like the actor who plays McLovin, like in the same mannerisms, that like hyper manic, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
talking.
Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
Well, that's
Is
a mouthful.
McLovin?
No,
That's his
McLovin
Okay.
is his name.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was going to look up the guy from Behind
Garrison
the Bastards
something
because
or
he's
other.
also got like a social media presence, and it'd be good to give him a shout out, but I can't find it easily. So
Robert Evans.
Garrison. No, I know Robert Evans. I know that guy. Let's see. Paul F. Tompkins has been on 4 episodes. I gotta find those. That guy's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Garrison
I know who
Davis.
he is, yeah.
Garrison Davis is the guy that sounds like McLovin. So shout out Behind the Bastards podcast. Shout out to Garrison Davis, who's sometimes a guest on there. Sorry, but you sound exactly like McLovin, because that's probably not a good thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, it's not ideal. I associate you with like a
I didn't say
reedy,
great.
pasty little Jewish boy. So.
Yeah.
I mean,
Didn't say great. It's fine.
Shout out to werewolffacts.com.
Werewolffacts.com.
That's how I found out about
slash
podcasts.
people who look like McLovin.
We could just get sponsored by werewolffacts.com.
Oh my goodness, that would be the best sponsor ever.
I don't.
We keep saying that. It's vampirefacts.net.
Yeah, that's the one. That's
It's
awesome.
seriously not. It's not werewolffacts.com.
No, we need to pick it up because it's a dead site. I think that that
shit.
name is available.
Shit. Well,
Go
way to
buy
spill the beans.
werewolffacts.com.
There we
Well,
go.
just don't post this until you've bought the domain.
There's a few people in here that might just do it ahead
Okay, come on, chat. Be cool.
of us. Let us get
Like,
werewolffacts.com.
be cool, man.
So before we wrap up, I want to go back to New World for a second.
Okay.
Let's do it.
We talked about
back
what we
to
liked. Is there anything that you guys don't like about New World?
Actually, I don't think the only thing I talked about was a thing that I didn't like, which was the storage system.
That's fair.
I could touch on stuff that I do like. Most of it, to be fair. So far, most of the game feels like I do not like how the quests early on right now are fairly generic,
Yeah.
but that would be fine if I didn't feel like there's no level progression with the quests that make you feel like you're
doing different
going
shit.
where the game would like you to go.
Mm-hmm.
And that sounds like it's like, oh, well, I got to make my own choices. No, it means most of the time you spend your time confused about where you should be and where you should be going, and then really irritated when you like work your way questing through a section, travel all the way back, turn those quests in, and they're like, hey, go back to those areas for these other quests, to the same exact place that you were just at. And if only we had thought about our quest progression tree, we could have like had you complete multiple quests while you were there. And it's not like the quest chain says go there and then that same quest has you go back. It'll just be entirely different quests. We'll send you back to that same little tiny, like there's a farm, go to that farm. And so, like, you can't even think about how, like, oh, if I had leveled differently, I would have known that it was going to have me work multiple quests in that zone because they don't have that. And
Yeah, that was a problem in Warcraft. I remember having to run around checking, wow, have I picked up every quest that I can at this stage for this area so I don't have to accidentally run back and do it again and again.
Yeah.
And even still, you do like 17 quests, and those would unlock 11 more that you'd still have to go back and do. And I think it's just a way to kill time.
No, I mean, everything comes down to like
padding.
stretching out the leveling process to fit some sort of time frame.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least with Warcraft, you knew that like you could pick up all the quests that you need would be in that zone.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, more quests might pop up. You might have missed a chain and have to stay there longer than normal. This is more like if you were in like, that's a good example. So say you're in like Thunder Bluff and you have a quest that sends you to
Another zone.
What is the name of the Horde city? I'm drawing
Orgrimmar.
Orgrimmar. So you go to Orgrimmar and then you go back to Thunder Bluff to finish the quest line, and then they're like, hey, this other quest that you were also on now says go to Orgrimmar. And you could have just gone to Orgrimmar for both quests, and both those quests required that you traveled like across an entire zone.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck, come on. I was just there.
Now, I want to kind of compound upon that because I have finished a quest in a place called Alturas.
Yeah,
Actress, yeah, something like that. I finished a quest there. I turned it in at the syndicate board. I can then pick up that quest again immediately.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I have literally back-to-back done that quest. That happened twice. There's another like pirate area that I ended up having to do twice. Okay. I finished it, and then I went back to town. That's when I joined Josh. And then we end up doing the same quest. And actually, I think you had that problem too, Josh.
Well, no, so it was in the same spot. Now, I had to go and kill the Revenant, Regent, Pirate Regent. And then it sent me back to the same spot to collect the 4 thingies.
The Philosopher's Stones.
Yeah, the Philosopher's Stones.
Yeah.
Now, I had already collected all of those fucking things from I'd already collected all those chests once already when I went and fought the Regent dude. And then they were like, no, get some more. But I did get more shit. So.
You didn't. So that's another problem. Is if I have 3 cougar pelts in my inventory and the quest is asking for 3 cougar pelts, I should just be able to turn them in. But instead, they add the caveat that kill 3 panthers.
To just say, I did not collect the Philosopher's Stones the first time I raided those chests. I got different supplies. Right. So I did get extra supplies out of it. But that's, as I get higher level and less supply starved, that's not going to be enough. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, like, I'm new, so I don't really have any complaints. I'm having a fucking blast and a half out there.
Oh, yeah, no, dude, it's still a fun game. Having a blast.
Yeah, but no, I can see how that would be, like, rough. I'm already like, man, I was just fucking here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Just fucking here.
It sucks when you use an ability that is like an attack movement ability, so it's going to move your character like towards them or something like that, and you miss.
Oh yeah,
because you don't lock on the character.
Yeah.
It's all active. Like you have to be able to actively hit them. And I have multiple abilities on different weapons that are like a charge or a leap, and there's times where like you just miss, and you're like, shit, that was like
that's a 15-second cooldown. So I like the active
real
attacking.
Quick. Do they give you targeters, like ground effects for like where your leap's going to go, or
you
like
just
a fan
aim
attack?
At them. You have a reticule, like you're in a kind of a third.
Sounds like they've
shooter.
taken a lot of ideas from a lot of different MMOs.
Oh, yeah,
like
for
that,
sure.
That's all straight from Guild Wars, the active aiming, and like the enemies in Guild Wars too. At least when I played, like all of their attacks, they would show the cones or the circles, like where they're going to do it, and you had to actively dodge. Like everybody had spacebar was a dodge. But Guild Wars 2, for all of its flaws, also solved the quest shit. They made a system so when you go to a new zone, if there are quests to collect 10 bear asses and 13 cougar pelts, if you just get those, then you go to the hub town in that place, and the quest giver there is like, hey, cool, you already got them. Here's the rewards, right? So you could just go into a zone. Well, it sounded like you have quests to go get something, right?
No. So what Andy was going to touch on before Josh went back to talking about his Philosopher's Stones again was that they've added in a quest to where sometimes, yes, you'll get a thing that says, like, this person needs 50 stone. If you have the 50 stone, you're golden.
Yeah.
But say it says, like, we want these pelts, it's going to add to the quest, kill 10 of these, skin 10 of these. So then you're going to have to actively do those tasks, which is weird because, like I said, they do both. So you would think that they would realize that, like, why are half of our quests forcing the player to do a thing if they'd already had it prepared?
It worked out really well in Guild Wars. It was this great game loop where you think of like doing a town run, right? So you would go into a new zone and you would just go whichever way you want. You'd run into the enemies, you'd kill them, you'd loot chests that you'd find hidden up in ledges, and eventually your inventory is full up. And then when you go back to town, you just turn on all the quests you didn't know you even had finished.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
You would upgrade your gear, and then you just go back out and be like, I'm going to go to this zone now, because there was like no real limit, at least once you got past the early area.
I assume the argument against that system is to prevent power leveling, because eventually someone knows exactly what you need before you go into a town or area, in which case they can just expedite their leveling process. But I mean, if somebody wants to go through that work at power level, then just fucking let them. Like they obviously have to read a guide or practice enough to get to that point.
Or the game is just old now and the knowledge is already there.
Yeah, the info's out, which I mean, fuck, that takes a day.
That's true.
I think about how many YouTube videos were like about like starting up a new world. I'm like, man, this game's like not even out. And people are like, here's how to play the game. But I mean, there's something to be said about the multiple betas, but
I think back to WoW. I mean, not even before WoW. You used to get an XP penalty if you played too much.
Yeah.
And then they moved it to an XP bonus if you didn't play enough. Right? And they're like, oh, wait, the stick isn't working. Or carrot.
What do we do?
So I have one. So I have a complaint to voice. Not a complaint. I have a worry. I don't think the combat is interesting. I think it's fun because it's new. We're still gaining abilities. I don't think there are enough abilities to carry the game forward for any kind of longevity. I think the combat is just kind of boring.
Okay. Do you think they could add combat abilities?
Absolutely. I think they could add. I think they could definitely flesh out the combat a little bit more, add more abilities. I think absolutely. Now with their kind of like their UI. I don't know what Josh just did. But
he touched the screen and clicked on a flaccid Darth Maul lightsaber while I was trying to Google something.
So I'm not sure how they'd have to change the UI or at least the like keybinds, because currently you can only use 3 abilities. So you can actually learn more than that in your skill tree, but you can only have 3 equipped.
Is there I don't know, maybe
yeah.
Have you tried equipping a 4th one yet in that tree?
No,
Turns out you
I
just
haven't.
keep equipping them.
No,
one
well, like
thought
I
to
mean,
do
maybe
it.
it's going to make a drop-down menu. So
It doesn't. Yeah. So you can go to your skill book and move something to one of your 3 active buttons.
Okay.
At least that's how I understand it based on the YouTube video that I
You can
watched.
change skills
Yeah.
fly on the fly in combat.
Kinda. I mean, you'll have to hit K, go to attributes or not attributes. Weapon mastery, and then choose the weapon that's currently equipped, and then drag that over. So it's something that you want to be kind of prepared for. I don't think it's super good for on the fly changes.
I don't know if you can change respec out of your skills if you're in combat or not, but I definitely know you cannot do it while any of your abilities are on cooldown.
Oh, okay.
Any of them? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we have 3. So.
Yeah.
Well, like if you could change out the 2 that aren't on cooldown.
No, it won't. Like you have to respec, which is pointing out your skill tree entirely. Now, I'd be curious if they make it possible down the road to where maybe if you carry 2 of the same weapon type, you could have them on different skill trees.
Yeah, probably.
And that might give you like that's doubling the amount of actions.
Well, could you though? Because I don't know that you could, because you can still change your skill tree while you're using your like offhand. So you can change your main hand while you're using your offhand, right? So I think your skills are set for that weapon type, not the not the one you're
I know
using.
they are currently. I'm saying like a possible expansion.
Later.
Abilities
Sure,
later on,
yeah.
you could have 2 sets of the same weapon.
Right.
Well, I also think the combats and the weapon stuff is a little basic right now because they want it's free to respec shit. So I think they want you to
Until
try,
level 20.
Yeah, I think they want you to try multiple paths, try multiple weapons.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm still new, so I'm waiting in with
opinion's
open
still
eyes
valid.
and full heart. So
Listen, I I am totally satisfied with the game. I want to go back and play some more of it. That's number one thing on my docket.
Word.
That being said, as I'm thinking ahead,
It's trying to
go look into the longevity. I've been through this a few times and I've been hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's true.
And it's, Nick and I were talking about it outside on our break. Is just the real test for this game is going to come a few months down the road to like a year when you look at the game and you say like, okay, you have a solid base, you had a lot of players that are interested, you built a solid engine, great launch, all that jazz. Where are you now?
Yeah.
And if the content's not there and the players have gotten fed up and the community's not being listened to or the combat's bland, these are all killers.
Yep.
These are all MMO killers. And so hopefully Amazon's like got a game plan about staying on top of this kind of shit.
Yep.
And keeping the game fresh and relevant and not hoping for just a cheap money grab through microtransactions.
Yeah. And I'm sure we'll have plenty more to talk about it later.
Yeah.
But it is about time to wrap up. Do you guys have any final things you want to talk about?
Join us. We are on Kashira Shigara, which is a West Coast server. If you guys want to join us,
my name is Rodrigo Montoyes. You killed my family. I promise vengeance.
Feel free to drop us a line on any of the social media stuff if you want invites to the group's parties or the company. We joined Syndicate because it sounded cool. It's like some Illuminati shit.
Yep.
Come play some New World with us.
In lieu of Josh's quote, I'm going to throw out a wizards are never late, nor are they early. They show up after coffee. Just slightly wrong.
Yeah. Remember, follow us on Twitch. That subscribe button's coming.
You'll see.
Check out our YouTube. Go to Facebook, Twitter, all the things. Click all that stuff. We love you.
Yes,
See you next time.
Okay, bye. Just kidding, chat. We're not leaving.
We left forever.
Oh, shame.
Podcast completion.
Completed.
We do need to do intro and hang out in the chat for a minute.
Yes.
Who is in chat?
Yeah, who do we got here with
How
us
do
right
I
now?
see?
Well,
I see
now
3 people. Is one of them Night
talk
Beast?
to us.
Say my name.
We want to talk to you.
No one is around
Yeah, we
you.
got
Say,
hungry-
hey, babe, I love you.
Hungry Yetis.
And that's all
yeah.
we can do of that before we get sued.
Yeah, that's true. We got quite a few follows in the last few days. Hungry Yeti. I know him personally. Hooray Yogurt. We know who that is.
Yeah.
Death Pro is new. I don't know who that is, but thank you.
Death
Princess
Pro.
Wobbly Minion, know who that is. Thank you guys for following. Really appreciate it. We had Alonzo up in the chat earlier. He's not here anymore, but we love you anyways, dude. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do this Wednesday nights. The podcast in audio form goes up Friday mornings at 5 a.m. Pacific. The YouTube video premieres. We do a little rollout premiere so everybody can watch it live, chat if they want to. Friday mornings again at 5 a.m. So it's a bit early, but Eastern time. Those guys.
Have you been doing a live chat at 5 a.m. every Friday?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's called the Half Apples Hour.
Yep, pretty much. I basically have 3 alarms set, and I check to see if anybody's chatted while I'm premiering the show.
Well, if you ever want to choose a sane hour, I would happily join.
Well, I want to choose an hour before people start their commutes in the morning.
The Witching Hour. No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the games comes out this month that I actually didn't get to talk about, but might be fun to think about picking up a copy of is Back for Blood is out.
Oh yeah.
So does it
I
have
also still have the
couch
Ascent
co-op?
to consider.
Not that I know of. No.
I doubt it.
Oh, then we might have to do PCs then.
Yeah.
But we could think about wanting to play that.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking about wanting to play that.
Back for Blood has some pretty wicked system requirements.
Yeah, we just fucking lower that shit down. Just fucking play it on a potato mode.
Only works for so long.
I know.
i5 8400 or Ryzen 7 1800X. Those are minimum requirements. So
Never mind.
this computer doesn't fall under that. You need a GTX 970 or better. That means that As far as graphics cards go, we all meet those requirements.
Okay.
What? Oh.
No split screen.
Dedicated.
I wouldn't think so.
dedicated
Not with those
RAM.
graphic requirements. There's no fucking way.
No, yeah, it's wild, dude. 12 gigs of RAM. We all have
Was that going to the consoles?
I have 8.
Yeah.
8
Oh,
It
gigs.
is?
shit.
That's got to
Yeah.
be fucking
Well,
downgraded.
and I don't know that it
That's-
can run on Windows 7 either. We got to get you upgraded.
Yeah.
Darn, I want to talk about decision making in game tonight, but just didn't get to it. I'll have to save that.
Dude, you
Yeah,
talk about
definitely.
game design. I'm talking about game design all day.
Oh,
Yeah, well-
Josh.
So they had like Oxenfree was like a choice making game, and then
Farting?
I'm adjusting my lateralis.
I forgot what actually
yeah,
sparked me thinking about
Jon
that.
Stewart is back tomorrow on Apple TV Plus, I think.
Boo.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Joe?
General Grievous.
But with a different.
Grievous? General Grievous?
Egregious.
Is that
Egregious.
hello?
Yeah.
No, so I saw that
I don't
they were. There's an
Different
article
code
talking
name?
about there's an Outer Worlds 2 coming out,
Oh.
and so I was reading like
That's good.
about Outer Worlds and kind of seeing what the review census was of the problems with the game because I know what I didn't like about the game.
Mhm.
And one of them they
Outer
started
Worlds
talking
or Outer
about
Wilds?
Outer Worlds,
Okay.
the
They're making a second one of those?
New Vegas people
Yeah.
that
Okay.
made.
I thought you meant Outer Wilds. I got all excited.
Are you sure it's
Obsidian.
just not an expansion for the ridiculously short first fucking game that they shat onto me?
No.
Okay, good. Yay.
Also, I mean, I can't get too mad about Outer Worlds just because like it was free on the Game Pass, so it
Yeah.
was kind of like
And while
It's
it was
got really
boring,
good
it was
reviews, so
fine.
people liked it.
Yeah, it was
did
immensely
enjoy it.
popular.
I would like to see a better game come out of that because I think that there's a lot of good things. Plus, the
Yeah.
Fallout Vegas people, so like I want to see
Like, it was
better
like,
shit.
I was just really starting to have like really build up that fucking steam. I'm 15 hours in, 16 hours in of what I thought was like I'm in the first third, and then the game just fucking ended. They pulled it out from under my feet, and
Honestly, I felt like that game was good that it was short simply because I didn't even finish it and I was already getting bored of the dumb shit they were making me do. So,
yeah, okay, that's fair. I guess I'll give you that. It's true. I was like, oh my god.
but something we can discuss next weekend and stuff is just really that kind of concept because the reviews were talking about. I kind of read a really bad article. It was really long talking about the decision making, and they kept wanting to compare it to, what is that space game? Mass Effect. They kept wanting to compare it to Mass Effect, like because apparently Mass Effect has done decision making both poorly and somewhat good.
Yeah.
That's how I'd put it. Poorly, but somewhat good.
Yeah, and I started thinking about other games and stuff like what do I have expectations out of my decision making games? What do I want to see? And I think it'd be an interesting concept for us to kind of discuss because there's a lot of nuance involved in what decision making is in a video game.
Yeah.
It's a whole branch of study of game design.
Yeah, dude, the nice thing is that's evergreen content, so we can talk about that, especially if we have like a bad news week.
Yeah.
I got ranting
know?
with Adam about the concept of choice and agency in games and whatnot. And I always just come back to old lessons I've learned in D&D. Like the fucking developers need to take some pages out of this shit. I know they all play D&D.
Yeah.
Fucking do it, right? The idea of the quantum ogre. So I develop an encounter with an ogre, and I spent 3 days making it, and I put it in the dungeon, and it's on the left door of the left room, and the players keep going to the right fucking door. They're like, well, I'm moving this because they don't know it exists yet, right? So they're eventually going to encounter it. There's arguments for or against that kind of style play, whatever. But the idea of like your choices matter in games like Mass Effect and whatnot, too often I see it only as a means to an end where all your choices lead up to one of 3 flavors of ice cream, as the old meme goes with Mass Effect at the end of the game, right? That's not when your choices should be having an impact only. They should be having an impact throughout the game, right? If I do something and make a choice, I don't want to have to wait to see, oh, I moved my good meter up 3 points. So at the end of the game, because now I have 187 good points, I get the good person ending, right? Like, what? I'm not 6.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, if I choose to save or kill this person, have it affect the storyline. And if you can't think of a way to do all those multi-branching things, call me. I'll tell you how to do it.
I'd also argue too is like a lot of times if you can't figure out a good way to implement decision making where you feel like you actually are seeing your agency in action, don't do it. Just tell a story then. I mean, you don't have to give players choice for them to enjoy the experience.
I prefer games without choice because it's choice, right? Like the impact is typically minimal. Or it's something that I don't want, and games that don't give me an option to go back and change things annoy the fuck out of me. So, honestly, I just prefer a good fucking linear narrative.
Yeah, and there's places.
It makes
for
great
those,
games.
You know, Half-Life 2, fantastic fun game. There's no choices in that game, right? But then you have stuff like the Shadowrun games made by Harebrained Studios. I think it was.
That was another fucking Nintendo game I wanted to talk about. They're doing the Shadowrun trilogy.
Oh shit!
On the Switch, and it's like it has like a little bit of that XCOM feel with the rounds combat, but I mean,
this is
in that
the
Shadowrun,
shooter?
in that Shadowrun universe, which
It's a turn-based action strategy.
Oh, okay. Because they made a Shadowrun like arena shooter, and it was horrible. But that was like 5, 6, 7 years ago.
this like just from the little screenshots I saw, it has a very XCOM kind of a like look and feel, like top down. I feel like it was from the few minutes I saw of it, and I was like, oh shit, that looks really fun. Because like I'm always fascinated with the Shadowrun universe, but I've never been able to do more than dip a toe in.
I understand now. So the Shadowrun trilogy are the games made by Harebrained, which I've played all these games. They are worth playing. I really, really liked them. Dragonfall is probably my favorite. But that's something I was going to talk about. There wasn't a lot of choices I made in like Dragonfall, for example, that I saw immediate agency from. But the path I chose led me up to the ability that when I got to the final boss, I talked him out of his plan and put him into like a state of like
existential crisis.
Yeah. And just ended the game without actually having to fight him because of a bunch of choices I had made. It's like, that is kind of a neat choice. I didn't think I was going to have that option, but you wheel your way through the text thinking, okay, how do I do this? But then you get into problems like, is your game voice acted? You can't have voice actors in a studio recording every possible line depending on all the branching choices that a player would make, right? It's much easier with just text. But
Is being asked in chat, is Shadowrun the one where you wake up in the morgue?
that is the one for the Super Nintendo, the original Shadowrun game, yeah.
There you go.
I think the Shadowrun trilogy refers specifically to the ones that were made by Harebrained Schemes, which was Shadowrun Dragonfall, Shadowrun Hong Kong. And
those are all PC.
Yeah, they play a lot like Baldur's Gate,
Sure.
right? And, top-down CRPG. They're janky. It's not a AAA studio. They have their bugs. There's some quality of life things that are missing from it, but they're really, really fun, and they're a great intro to the Shadowrun world where you've got, orc bouncers and elf business ladies and goblin rat
Dragon
shamans.
King of Germany who wants everything neat and tidy.
Yeah, the president
Or
of Germany
else.
is a dragon, yeah.
Have you been keeping up on Baldur's Gate?
I see stuff on it often, and I
Oh my
turn
god,
away
I can play Baldur's Gate.
when it
What
comes
the
out.
shit?
You get to play, yeah,
The enhanced edition too.
yeah.
Wow.
But I have not. I'm just curious. Like, are we getting closer to like a final launch? Are we?
Let's watch another video.
I don't want to watch the videos because they just give me false hope.
Yeah. October. No, that was the final release date.
Wait, you keep doing that, and then I can also get down here.
Full release
And we're
next year. So
Next year, we're looking at for full release. Okay.
I don't want to jinx anything. I know if I looked it up, I could probably get answers on this. I have trepidations now that I've played a lot of Divinity 2. Larian made a really good game in Divinity 2 and then decided they wanted to have both a really serious storyline and wacky slapstick humor at the same time. And playing through this game, we'll have a scenario where like we are essentially like mutants that can cast magic, and we've been put into slavehood. We have literal collars around our necks, thrown on a prison island where these prisoners, these sorcerers, SOURCE, are getting used for weird experiments. It's all fucked up. And then like we fight 3 dwarves that have wings that are being helped by a giant Buddha statue that's on fire and talking to flaming pigs. Like it just every 5 minutes, it goes back and forth between the serious dramatic tone and complete off the wall loopsy doopsy.
But that was their
stuff.
own IP.
It was.
And they know what they have with Baldur's Gate.
I just don't know, like, is that a Swedish thing? Like, is that their form of, because like, I know what to expect when I play a Japanese game. I've played so much, I've taken so much Japanese media. I know what I'm getting into there. I haven't played many Swedish things or watched Swedish shows.
I'm sure they got somebody watching over their shoulder from,
I hope. Yeah.
from Waddick.
Yeah. Watsy, I think is what they say, but
I didn't even know there's a thing for it. I prefer Waddick.
Waddick. Yeah.
Waddick.
One more thing. I don't know. Did I? Oh, no, that's a side note. Never mind. But yeah, so we'll see. I'm just going to pretend that it's not a problem and not watch any more of the game and wait till it comes out.
It's weird just having a game like I want to play and I could be playing it right now, but I don't really get to play it until next year. It's because of all the new trend of.
And I kind of learned my lesson. I've played a lot of early access games, and it's often that you get an early access game that is like you play through it and you're like, okay, that was kind of neat. They need a lot of stuff. And then the game comes out a year later and you're like, I don't really know if they added enough that I really want to play through it again, especially me that don't like really playing through stuff. So like I played the second Subnautica Below Zero when it first came out in early access, and it was jank. Like it was brand new, and you know, I was like, okay. And then I tried it again like a few months later, added some stuff, and now the game's fully out and I have no interest in playing it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that to
My biggest fear
Baldur's
with
Gate.
any RPG, especially one in the past, like the Baldur's Gate series, is hands down a game I've sunk the most time into. I guess for like games that have single playthroughs, because I'm not going to count like an MMO because fuckloads of hours playing an MMO. But you can lose progress. So like, you know, if the game's not released and there's bugs, and there could be the day where I'm fucking 80 hours in and I get a game breaking bug and have to start over, because that's the kind of shit like I will shelve the game. Like I'm not going to be able to come
even
back
lose
to that.
like every once in a while we'll lose a couple hours in Divinity and I'm like, no, I'm done for the night.
Yeah.
I don't even want to like redo all that. Yeah, the idea of losing all that progress. But you know, modern day cloud saves, auto saves, quick saves, F5, you can, if you're diligent, you can keep that stuff from happening.
But I mean, who knows, right? If like that's a bug that every time you get there, it's gonna like.
Oh, you're talking
chortle
about
out.
specifically like early access.
Yes,
oh, yeah.
yes,
And that
yeah.
stuff does happen. There was a game, what was I playing? I was playing something with Adam where the save file had some kind of buffer overflow, and it was adding padded data to the save file. And the game was coded in such a way that if your save file got over 8 megabytes, it just permanently corrupt the save.
Oh, great, yeah.
Adam might remember what that was. It was a game we were enjoying. And I was like, whatever you do, like right now, make a copy of your physical copy of the file, like to a different folder.
Think about, I mean, something we didn't really talk about all getting ready to play New World was the fact that like in its early beta access, it was bricking video cards.
Oh, shit.
Like,
Oh, yeah, Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, that's what it was. The save file would get too big and it would corrupt.
oh, wow, okay.
But yeah, breaking video cards, that's
That's a serious
Something
issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, Andy, you said it was like just the highest end video cards, too.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was killing mostly 3090s.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Cards that
Saving
people are
up,
spending like $3,500
selling
on.
a kidney to get it. Wow. Oh, yeah. Anytime you crafted something in 2077, it would pad the save file. So, like, you had to limit your crafting until they fixed the bug.
Crafting was dumb in 2077 anyways.
Yeah. But,
They did not
I'm
a great job on the
very
crafting
excited
system.
to play the new Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on a countdown timer, and I'm really hoping that it's at least adequate. And I feel like adequate for me is like even the first Dragon Age. Like I played all the way through that and enjoyed that. That's good.
That was a fun game. A lot of fun.
But it was by no means like as good as it could have been.
That reminds me, Adam had a friend, they were playing Final Fantasy 14, and I think his friend was playing on the PS4. I don't remember the specifics, but it was something about him trying to update or run Final Fantasy 14 would make his breaker flip in his house, and it put all the power out. And yeah, it was going on for like a couple days until I don't remember how that resolved, but weird fucking bugs.
That's not a patch. That's a fucking stretch is what that is. What the fuck?
You guys know about Stuxnet?
I've heard of it.
Oh, man.
Do I know about Stuxnet?
It's completely unrelated, but I was just thinking about bugs. It's worth a movie.
It's scratching my brain bits.
So Stuxnet essentially was a virus created to fuck with nuclear bomb making in the Middle East.
Yes.
But that's like not doing the story justice. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a Netflix documentary on it.
Yeah, I watched this. Like somebody thought
anus?
to do all that. Is that this button?
It didn't do anything.
That's muted, probably.
Oh, so it only did it for the stream. Anus? Yeah.
I heard it the first time. That's weird.
That is weird.
That is weird.
That's why I looked over and said, "Oh, you have a button." I assume you weren't just saying anus.
Intro.
Oh, intro.
Yeah, you guys need things.
Oh, yeah, I was talking about stuff.
Adam, are you doing New World?
Nah, he broke.
That makes sense.
Plus, he's got Final Fantasy 14.
Fair enough. It's hard to do 2 MMOs.
It's not possible. It's not possible. It's not enough time in the day.
This doesn't seem physically possible.
I'm just glad in New Worlds, since we're
Hell no.
going there by boat and being colonizers, that there's no native people to kill. that's a positive.
Well, you don't know that yet.
Not
Yeah.
yet, anyway.
Actually,
Who do you think you've been fighting this whole time?
Well, actually, I don't think I've fought any. They've been humanoid, but not human.
Corrupties.
That's really racist.
What are you gonna do?
Damn humanoids coming in here.
Oh, we did fight some pirates. No, those are pirates.
They're
assume
undead pirates.
Yeah. So, I mean, and they were people
Hey man,
that sailed
the mortally
here.
challenged
natives
have
are also
rights.
people.
Yeah, but none of the people we fought have been natives. They've all been like dead piratey people. Pirates weren't born here. Oh, maybe they were.
Maybe they were. Yeah.
Okay, that's true. Fine.
They
Fuck it,
do
whatever.
have large fucking settlements for not having been here for very long.
I'm just saying. I'm glad I'm not having to shoot Pocahontas with my magical.
Yeah, I don't think Amazon would put out that game. It would be
Or,
fucking
I mean-
bold of them, and I would play it in a heartbeat.
John Smith traveled back to England. I helped my people cultivate the fields, for English, French, and Spanish came to visit, and they greeted us with guns and germs and steel.
For this quest, I need you to take these 10 pox blankets.
No.
So if you're not broke, well, if you're not broke, is it just because you're playing FF14?
Him and his crew have been doing Sea of Thieves and
Sea of Thieves is fun, man.
With zero
Yar.
content to do in that game, and it's still doing fine, I guess.
yeah.
Got to RP the fuck out of Sea of Thieves.
The RP in Sea of Thieves is pretty fucking fun.
Now, I could see playing a game for purely the RP of it as a real thing. Like,
Oh yeah,
I mean,
GTA RP, it's huge.
well, dude, that's how I played Skyrim so many times. I just start giving myself role playing rules, like Khajiit cannot go into town during day.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it made the game fun. So, because
You should show
Had
him
to
like
do
that
something.
mini documentary on that one server in WoW. Moon Garden or
Oh yeah, on Moonguard.
yeah, Moon Garden.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah.
that's fair.
good.
Yeah, that's fair.
Intro thing.
Intro thing.
Joshua will give you $1 if you successfully steal Russ's intro.
You don't need to incentivize that.
And I just wanted to remind him.
I'm always reminded.
Always something there.
My eyesight was better. I could have already
Oh.
stolen it.
Russ,
don't
try
have one yet.
try not to have the pad in front of your face this week.
The what?
Yeah,
Your
maxi
your
pad.
pad.
Did you hold the pad up? And
that you use on your period. That you hold up.
I don't use the big ones, though. I have a light flow. I don't know why that blocked my face. It's small. Big ones won't fit on my thong.
I mean, that makes sense.
It wouldn't be that easy. Fuck, I don't have fuck.
Russ Slim Ultra.
I mean,
Just say that you invented Kotex.
Mine's Brotex, buddy.
Brotex.
Brotex.
What would the names be for the different flow rates for men's tampons?
Chad is the biggest.
Chat. Sigma male.
Size fucking Brotex
Sigma
use, bro. Chad.
Get the Chad size for that Sigma male
Oh,
flow.
I'm a tanner.
Oh no.
Oh, Josh's last week was so good.
Which one was it?
I'll go back.
And unmute
Josh,
that shit.
and I look good on every PlayStation generation.
My name's Russ.
My name is Josh, and I look good on every PlayStation generation.
Damn right I do.
Yeah.
That's good. My name is Andy. Welcome to.
I baked you an awesome screenshot, bro. That's a fucking
Dude,
that's a-
I loved our
that's a fucking
thing, our
screenshot.
launch with you and me looking weird with Dandelion in between us.
Yeah.
For that thing. That was great. I loved it. I loved it. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, it's going to be fun doing more of those thumbnails.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty
I'm
simple.
golden. I got mine.
Okay. In case I didn't tell you, I'm releasing the unedited Twitch VODs the week after.
Okay.
Fucking lemony wiener diamonds.
Yep.
What's
Does everybody have a thing?
Yes,
what's
yes.
a random real life achievement?
Random one? Marriage. Buying a house. Making lots of dollars.
Horse and carriage.
Okay.
That's the one. Exactly, Kona. Exactly.
After Dark Uncensored Gone Wild.
That's just where Josh takes his shirt off, and it's not. That's freemium. It's
Russ is
not
doing
premium.
good things.
Yeah, that. There's some After Dark content, and then
Beard touch. It's a gentleman's game.
It's a gentleman's game.
Get out of my ear holes.
Oh, yeah.
you want some
You're the one
Dark.
that taught my dog the fucking ear holes.
you taught my dog the ear holes.
He did. Tried blaming it on me earlier.
Oh my god, that was so funny. So, Crumble stuck his tongue deep into my ear canal. I was like, "Oh, that went really in there."
Oh.
And then he's like, "Yep, you can find all the holes." And I was like, "Yeah, takes after his daddy."
Oh, no.
So TikTok is wonderful, and there's this set of videos where this dude he has a little Mickey doll, huh? and then all of a sudden his voice will go down deep like this. And there's the one where they're pouring molten lava on the hot dog, and I just oh no,
That one.
I don't like lava on my hot dog. Oh, you're burning my weenie. It's just like whew. Yeah.
That's a lot of ranch.
Yeah, it's so that. Oh my god, dude, I fucking love that guy. They're that person, whoever the fuck they are. I love them. TikTok is amazing.
It's good times.
It is. It's wonderful. I like all the new internet things I'm learning.
Mm-hmm.
Keep
Welcome.
teaching me. Keep teaching me.
Forgetting what I'm going to say. It's gone.
Shit. I got actually. Okay, I just thought of something that might even be funnier. Okay. There it is.
You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Josh, you got it?
Yes.
So we're ready?
Yes.
Ready, Freddy.
Whoops. All right, noise floor. Tonight, we talk New World, Chris Pratt's new plumbing gig, how many nipples are in Bayonetta, what the hell a Splatoon is, and how we wet our fuck.
How do we wet our fuck?
How do we wet our fuck?
The usual way. Bayonetta milk.
Bilk.
Bilk.
Show me your bilk.
Bayonary.
All right. Tonight, we talk New World, Chris Pratt. Fuck.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
I'm flubbing.
At that, Chris.
Should be a
Lubin.
Pokemon that's just got like 8 tits. It's called a
It's called a,
lactase.
it's the thing. It's called a mill tank. It's a cow.
Yeah, it's a cow.
See,
Yeah,
Lack Days would be a good psychic.
they kind of
Milk.
have that.
Psychic milk.
Psychic milk.
Just a bunch of mind controlling titties.
I want that to be a gamer tag now.
Oh, that's a good one.
Fucking psychic milk.
That's a
Yeah.
really good one.
Lackadaisical. That's a word.
All right. Tonight, we talk New World, Chris Pratt's new plumbing gig, how many nipples are in Bayonetta, what the hell a Splatoon is, and how wet can we get our beavers?
This is Nick, and I hold a world record in beard touch any percent speedrun.
Hi, I'm Josh. Now unlockable on Smash Bros.
My name's Russ. I fluff limp lightsabers.
My name's Andy. Welcome to Video Game Tango.
Huzzah!
Ayo, Lamau.
Third time's an achievement.
I got flubs.
Flooper flubs. Flubber dubbers.
Fucking OnlyFans content.
Lab flubbers.
We're going to do a firefighter calendar.
Of course. No.
It's got to smush them together.
That I grabbed our faces, a few of them. So we had a catalog.
No, I just meant, like, do we want to do a firefighter?
Oh, I thought you were talking about like the photo shoot we did last weekend.
No.
Okay.
Just an idea.
No, we'll need more of those.
Less
but-
pale.
Less pale? Are you super pale?
In my bad vision, Kona's emote looks like Jinx from Pokemon.
Oh, that's Yoda. Like
the yellow outline looks like the hair.
oh yeah.
Two sticks are going to be fire makers. Yeah, we do like a caveman, primitive living. Trying to make like a game console over the course of the calendar. Right? That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah.
What's gay Kappa mean?
Kappa Pride.
Kappa Pride.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit from other people, but there are 2 people in my life who are allowed.
I'm wet in a bad way.
And the second one,
Oh, you those beavers.
somehow my smartwatch is infinitely better at it than I am. Like I'll be sitting around my house,
All right.
every wrong
Yeah.
thing I've ever done.
Chat.
As you do.
Thank you for hanging in.
You know what? I think
Yes,
you might
sir.
be a piece of
We're gonna go raid Yoda Gaming.
are a piece of
Yeah.
and I've got the data
Send it over.
He's our boy.
everything. And then he
So have a good night.
only to lower my
Good
Thank
night,
you.
chat.
Say good night,
Hey,
chat.
y'all.
We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
I waved at both hands. I regret it immediately.
That's not how you wave. Might be how you wave.
That's how your mom waves.
So your mom went to Wave College.
Get over here too.
Yeah, I was like, where are you at, Nick?
Oh. Now I'm scared. There's too many. I've seen pornos that started that way. They weren't good, but
maybe it's they weren't good.
I was gonna play a new rule.